We are PBS.
This is Celtic Woman, their new show on PBS. Celtic Woman, A New Journey, filmed at Slane Castle in Ireland. Don't miss this spectacular concert. Celtic Woman, A New Journey.
Sunday at 7 on Georgia Public Broadcasting.
Discover the magic of trumpeter Chris Bodie as he's joined by Sting, Gladys Knight, Paula Cole, Burt Bacharach, Jill Scott, and others in Chris Bodie Live with orchestra and special guests.
Sunday at 9 on Georgia Public Broadcasting.
For 45 years, GPB has been committed to serving you.
And we want to thank you for inviting us into your homes.
With award-winning GPB original productions.
Programs that reveal Georgia's fascinating wildlife.
And travel Georgia's backroads in search of interesting people and places.
Programs that celebrate the arts in Georgia.
And take you on behind-the-scenes adventures.
Or provide live statewide coverage of high school sports competition.
Programs that go back in time to reveal Georgia's role in history and bring you insightful reports on everything from politics to arts across the state of Georgia.
So remember, GPB is here for you.
Thank you for making us a part of your life.
With fame came an emptiness that only one thing could fill. He was an ordinary kid from Tupelo who became the king of rock and roll. He touched me, the gospel music of Elvis Presley.
Sunday at 10:30 on Georgia Public Broadcasting. This is Georgia Public Broadcasting, your PBS station, serving Atlanta and all of Georgia.
Georgia Public Broadcasting presents the 2006 Georgia High School Association's Class 5A Football State Championship. Funding for this program is provided in part by Georgia Electric Membership Corporation, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, IBEW Local 613, Atlanta. Wachovia. The Georgia Student Finance Commission. By viewers like you. And the Georgia High School Association, who wish to thank the Georgia Dodge dealers, State Farm, and Verizon Wireless for their support of high school sports programming on GPB. Live from Walter Cantrell Stadium in Powder Springs, it's the GHSA 5A Football State Championship, featuring the Peachtree Ridge Lions coming in at 11-3, taking on the Roswell Hornets at 13-1. The Lion fans are here. They made the 1.5-hour trek from the Duluth area, and they are surprised and happy to be here. Meantime, the Hornet fans made their 1-hour trip from the Roswell area to root on their Hornets. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Championship Weekend on GPB. I'm Jim Ginocchio. Of course, last night we brought you the 4A championship from Warner Robins. Tonight from Powder Springs, a neutral site, Roswell earned the right to host the championship game, but their stadium did not seat 6,000 or over. Therefore, they had a choice of which stadium to pick. They chose McEachern High School, and this is where we are for the 5A Football State Championship. It's going to be a great game. Both coaches will tell you they are pleasantly surprised to be here. And so with the surprise of being here, they also came up with some great wins in the semifinals at the Georgia Dome. Here's the highlights. The Roswell Hornets take the field at the Georgia Dome, ready to tangle with Tift County. Roswell struck first. Check out the arm of quarterback Dustin Talaferro as he finds his receiver Daniel Nitwitsky. Perfect pass covering 15 yards. Hornets had the 7-0 lead. A great aerial attack usually sets up the ground game. Here's proof. Next possession, first down. Alex Daniel gets the call, turns on the afterburners, and goes untouched, 76 yards. A moment Alex will never forget. It was 14-0 Roswell over Tift County. On the ensuing kickoff, the Blue Devils came up with a big special teams play. Marvin Cheney, number 35, takes the kick. 81 yards down the near sidelines. He could go up The kicker knocks him out at the 1-foot line. That sets up on the very next play. Kareem Hess bulls his way in from the 1, pulling the Blue Devils to within 7, 14-7. Tippecanoe County got the ball back. Trouble quarterback Sean Baxley goes down. Tyler Watson with the hit. Blue Devils were forced to go for 3. Charlie Edwards connects from 26 yards. That made it 14-10 Roswell. Then came back Talaferro. He goes up top, 33 yards to wide receiver Will Niclero. Touchdown Hornets. It was 21-10. Hornets added some insurance late. This 29-yard field goal by Jim Broadway made it 24-10. Roswell comes up big on both sides of the ball as they beat Tippecanoe County 24-10. Peachtree Ridge and Warner Robins in the other semifinal. Peachtree Ridge, the Cinderella team. The Demons were tough off the top, driving down the field and scoring on a 1-yard touchdown run by Dwayne Jackson. 7-0 Warner Robins. Lions came back, scored on this 27-yard field goal by Drew Butler. It was 7-3. Later, fourth quarter, still same score. Bold defense and stingy. Look at the fancy footwork by the fleet-footed quarterback, Zach Graham, avoiding tacklers before being knocked out inside the 10. The excellent run sets up this touchdown pass. Graham, 2-step drop, and hangs it up there for Sidney Haynes. Lions had their first lead, 10-7. Just over 2 minutes left. Lions look for some insurance. It's Drew Butler again, this time from 33 yards out. Peachtree Ridge led it 13-7. Demons need a touchdown to tie, an extra point to win. First play from scrimmage. Whoops, ball is tipped. It's Kavoski Simpson who comes up with the interception. Peachtree Ridge looks to run out the clock. They go for it on a 4th and 2 inside the red zone, and they slam the door on the Demons. They convert, and that's it. Peachtree Ridge upsets the Demons of Warner Robins, the final 13-7. And as I mentioned earlier, both coaches were pleasantly surprised to be here. Tim McFarland from Roswell and Blair Armstrong from Peachtree Ridge. Here's the reason why. Peachtree Ridge is only in their 4th season of varsity football, and here they are in a state championship. The last time Roswell won a state title was 36 years ago. It's going to be a great football game. We throw it upstairs to the two guys to call it for you. Charles Ward and Mark Lassiter. Hello, guys.
Hello, Jimmy, and welcome everybody upstairs, Cantrell Stadium. Charles Ward alongside Mark Lassiter. Glad you could join us. John Nelson comes momentarily. Mark, the Lions of Peachtree Ridge at 11-3. The Hornets at 13-1, both with differing paths to this championship ball game. What's the theme for tonight's contest?
It's a classic case of the tortoise versus the hare. On one hand, Roswell, it took them the slow and steady route. 36 years to reach the state finals. On the other hand, Peachtree Ridge, in only their 4th year of existence, is now playing for the big one.
Well, let's continue our discussion about the hare and the Lions of Peachtree Ridge.
The Lions of Peachtree Ridge, they have a diverse offense. They're led by Brandon Davis. Last week, he had 36 rushes for 154 yards. If you think good things come in small packages, his average at only 5'9" is 5.9 yards per carry. He's one of the leaders on that offense for Peachtree Ridge.
Defensively for the Lions, Breland Trahan at that linebacking spot is a real force for Peachtree Ridge.
Trahan is a part of that Bermuda Triangle, I like to call them. They came into the playoffs, the 3 linebackers, with over 195 tackles coming in. He had 126 tackles solo this season, so Trahan is going to be a player to watch on defense.
Of course, Trahan holds a record for most tackles in career at Peachtree Ridge, so quite a force for the Lions. Lions are coached by second-year head man Blair Armstrong, and it's such a special week of preparation for the Lions for this championship ball game. We caught up with him prior to the contest to get his thoughts about their week of preparation.
Well, it's real interesting. This team all year long has just worked on getting ready for the next game. And I've been so surprised this week. On Tuesday, I was a little concerned about our practice. Didn't seem like it was as high as I thought it would be, and I was talking with my coaching staff, and they said, Coach, that's just the way we get ready. It's no different than last week. And that's the kind of team they've been all year long. They have not let the Dome or the state championship game be any different than any other week. It's kind of amazing.
We will see what that Lions defense does with that Roswell Hornet offense, so potent with 2 big effective weapons.
And they have one of the best receiving corps that you'll ever see in high school football. Roswell, very diverse on offense. They're led by Alex Daniel, the running back. He had the big 76-yard run last week. He's playing on a sprained knee, however. He's described by his coach as a warrior. He's a tough player to keep off the field. So Alex Daniel is going to see if he can get going tonight on a bad leg. He's wearing number 4. The quarterback for Roswell is Dustin Tolliver. Now, we talked about the receiving core. He throws with tremendous touch. He's throwing for over 52% completion rate at quarterback. Tolliver really throws a nice ball, and the receivers, he likes to spread the ball around.
Tolliver with 180 yards last weekend in the semifinals, also sports a 3.8 GPA. Tim McFarland's in his 9th season at the Hornets of Roswell. We caught up with him prior to the ball game to see how they prepared for this special contest as well.
We tried to keep things as normal as possible. It's been real exciting for the community and for the former players that have come back. So I think for the fans, there's a lot of excitement. As far as the players and coaches, and we like to keep it as normal as possible. We had a good week of practice, had great focus this week, and we're ready to play.
Our guy that's always prepared is down at field level. That's John Nelson. Nelly, good evening.
Thank you for the compliment, Charlie. Let's talk about these two teams really quickly. Peachtree Ridge comes in as a 4 seed. That's only the 2nd time in state history of the playoffs that a 4 seed has made it to a state championship game. 37 seniors who played together as far back as 6th grade are 1 win away from giving this new program a state title. Roswell, Tim McFarland thought this year was a rebuilding year, having only 10 seniors on his squad, having lost 26. Both teams think that defense will win them championships, and if that is in fact the case, it could go to special teams. So keep an eye on Peachtree Ridge kicker Drew Butler, who has a great pedigree. His father, NFL kicker Kevin Butler. Guys, you said this is the tortoise and the hare. You've got the starter's pistol. No shortcuts. Let's send it back upstairs for the beginning of this ball game.
Thanks, John. Coming up, it is in fact the tortoise and the hare in a 4-quarter race to the 5A championship finish line. We'll have the start of that race in just a moment, just ahead on GPB.
Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started.
This is Celtic Woman, their new show on PBS. Celtic Woman, A New Journey, filmed at Slane Castle in Ireland. Don't miss this spectacular concert. Celtic Woman, A New Journey.
Sunday at 7 on Georgia Public Broadcasting.
Broadcast of this program is made possible in part by the following.
International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 613, has served Georgia business for 80 years without a work stoppage. Our bonded workers are skilled, drug-free, and get the job done on budget and on time. IBEW is putting families to work in Georgia.
Discover the magic of trumpeter Chris Bodie as he's joined by Sting, Gladys Knight, Paula Cole, Burt Bacharach, Jill Scott, and others in Chris Bodie Live with orchestra and special guests.
Sunday at 9 on Georgia Public Broadcasting.
Support for programming is provided in part by the following.
Need a better way to apply to college? Visit gacollege411.org and fly through applications online. Start, stop, save, change information anytime. And it's automatically transferred to all your applications. GA College 411, helping students plan, apply, and pay for college.
With fame came an emptiness that only one thing could fill. He was an ordinary kid from Tupelo who became the king of rock and roll. He touched me, the gospel music of Elvis Presley.
Sunday at 10:30 on Georgia Public Broadcasting. This is Georgia Public Broadcasting, your PBS station.
And welcome back, everybody, to Cantrell Stadium, getting set for the 5A championship state of Georgia. The Lions of Peachtree Ridge and the Hornets of Roswell High School. Roswell, the home team, will kick it away, and Peachtree Ridge will have it on offense to get it started.
Charles, this is a journey that started way back in July for a lot of these players. Let's go ahead and dedicate this one before we break the seal to the thousands of high school players that have put in the time. We're at the big one tonight.
Jim Broadway will kick it away for the Hornets. Hayes stands deep for the Lions. Get us going. And we're off. Hayes will have it near the 6. Up the Gutties goes. He's got a hole. Up to the 30, to the 31. Franklin on the stop for Roswell. As the Lions of Peachtree Ridge with their first possession, they'll start it from the 31, led by senior quarterback Zach Graham. Graham on the season, 108 completions, over 1,300 yards, 10 TDs, 8 interceptions. Graham had a fine performance in the dome last weekend as well for Peachtree Ridge. First play from scrimmage. On the ground, left side, Davis with the football up near the 34-yard line. Pick up a 3 on the run by Davis. Up front for the Lions is Jackson, Bauer, Akins, and Peranunzio for Peachtree, and Pino's the center. Davis, Gibbs, and Brown, and Haynes, the wide receivers, and the running backs for the Lions of Peachtree Ridge. Second down play. Second and 7 for Peachtree Ridge. Play fake. Graham rolls right side, raises, fires at the corner. Haynes is there for the nice catch near the 43-yard line, but we'll see where they mark him out of bounds. The initial grab was made at the 43.
That's the pitch-catch combination you'll see a lot of tonight. Graham to Sidney Haynes.
Wheeler on the stop for the Hornets of Roswell. Third down coming now for the Lions. Roswell up front is Bird, Hazelton, Kelly, and Metzen. Linebacking core is Kern, Waddle, and Okapu. Corners Wheeler, Embry, and Franklin, and Allen, the safeties for Roswell. Third and a 4-1, and bang is Davis, left side. Okapu on the initial hit for the Hornets, and gets the crowd right in it here at McEachern High School.
The Roswell Hornet defense only allowed 14 points per game. They average only 233 yards allowed this season, and show evidence why on the first drive by Peachtree Ridge.
So Drew Butler will come on now to kick it away with a 4th and 1. And P.J. Bidell will stand deep for the Hornets. Butler on the season averaging almost 42 yards per punt. That was best in the county. And you can see why on that punt by Butler. Bidell over the shoulder catch near the 12. As Butler boots that one long. And the Hornets will start this drive from the 13.
In my humble opinion, this Roswell Hornet offense has the best group of receivers in the playoffs. They're balanced. Watch them, they're very effective on third down calls as well.
Dustin Tolliver, the junior quarterback, leads that Hornet offense. Over 1,900 yards in the air, 127 completions, 14 TDs on the season, state interceptions. He'll go under center this trip. First possession for Roswell. On the ground, straight ahead with the carry is Daniel. Daniel got it up near the 17-yard line. Boswell up front, Cobb, Yates, Mate, and Reynolds. That's Johnson's the center for the Hornets. Running backs, Daniels just carry the football. Roberson's the other running back. There's Wiki is the wide out, and Bidell is the other. Second down and 6 for the Hornets. Tolliver, play fake, rolls right side. Here comes the pressure. Fire coming in there, but they get him down near the 3-yard line. Aaron Blue in on the stop for Peachtree Ridge. We'll check the flag. But a great defensive play by Aaron Blue for the Lions.
Blue entered the game with 74 tackles and 10 sacks.
Initial call is holding against the Hornets. Referee conferring with Cameron Hayward of Peachtree Ridge. Danny Westbrook's referee for tonight's ball game. We'll see what Hayward decides. The Lions decline the penalty, and they'll take that play. Good sack on Tolliver down near the 2-yard line. Third down and long now for the Hornets of Roswell. The ball at their 3-yard line. On the ground, left side with the football is Daniel. Not a lot of room there. Got it up to the 5-yard line. But the Lion defense is held. They're going to force the Hornets to punt it from their own end zone.
Speaking of that Lion defense, they've only allowed 8.4 points per game.
9 minutes, 16 seconds clock running as Broadway comes on now to kick it away for the Hornets. Bryant and Simpson will backpedal for the Lions to receive it. They're going to kick it away. Broadway, a line drive kick. And it takes a Hornet roll back inside of line territory to the 48. Don't know what Broadway was actually showing on that punt. Brief moments of thinking he may be faking it, but just kicked it away from the return men. Didn't get it airborne. Intentional kick that way, a line drive kick by Broadway. So here come the Lions back on offense now. Their second possession of this first quarter. Graham, the senior quarterback. Last week, 9 of 16 from the game. Play fake, right side. Here comes the pressure. They'll get a sack on him near the 40-yard line. Hazleton was the first Hornet to arrive.
Graham had thoughts of trying to hit number 22, Brandon King, was running a simple in pattern at about the 35-yard line. The pressure comes from the outside for Roswell. Graham simply does not have enough time to step up and make the delivery.
Hazleton, the junior defensive end for Roswell, with the sack on Graham. Make it second down and 16. Quick pitch, right side. Davis looking for some room. Bump from behind at the 45. Down near the 46.
Excellent pressure provided on that last play by Rich Kern, the linebacker. He's got to make the all-name team. Kern came in about 5 yards into the backfield, really slowed that play before it had a chance to develop for Peachtree Ridge.
Third down now for Graham and that Lion offense. Davis trying to find some room back on the inside. That's good defensive work by the Hornets. Gives it into the line of scrimmage. Gibbs with the carry. Gibbs got it past near midfield. Well short of the first down marker.
Both teams right now, Charles, just trying to feel each other out. Nothing too flashy, just trying to get the running game established. On the second series, Peachtree Ridge punting again.
So Butler will come on to punt it away. And Vidal will stand deep to receive. Under 7 minutes remaining. Quick moving first quarter. Butler with a high kick. Vidal gonna let it bounce near the 17. Inside the 15 it rolls, and that's where the Hornets will take it on offense. Quick timeout on the field. 6:45 remains first quarter. No score. Back with more.
Funding for this program is provided by the Georgia High School Association. The GHSA would like to thank State Farm for the outstanding support of high school sports programming on GPB. State Farm is proud to be the official awards presenter of the GHSA, recognizing outstanding achievements by Georgia's student athletes in competitive sports and activities. State Farm wants families and teens to always drive safe in your communities as you travel to work, school, or play. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back, everybody, to Cantrell Stadium. Jim Ginocchio standing by at field level. Jimmy.
Thanks, guys. As you can imagine, Roswell coach Tim McFarland has received many congratulating calls since the Hornets defeated Tift County on Saturday to earn the berth in the state championship game for the first time since 1970. One of the surprise well-wishers was Roswell's quarterback on the 1970 team, current Southern Mississippi head coach Jeff Bauer. And Bauer told him, hey, don't let up, Tim. Keep it going. Back upstairs.
Thank you, Jim. Coach Bauer, as you indicate, with the team as quarterback on the 70s team, the 1970 team that won, and then also with the 68 team. Hornets have the football. They'll start this drive from their own 13-yard line. Tolliver sends a man in motion. On the ground. Left side is Daniel with the carry. Got it up to the 15, perhaps a 16-yard line.
Nothing fancy for Peachtree Ridge on defense. It's simply 4-man front, 3 linebackers. We talked about the Bermuda Triangle off the top. Trahan is wearing number 4. Justin Gibbs, number 20. And Michael Davison, he wears number 5. That's that Bermuda Triangle for Peachtree Ridge.
Corners are Sanders and Bryant, Davis and Simpson. The secondary man, Lebowski Simpson, leading the team with 7 interceptions. Tough secondary for the Lions as well. 2nd down and 7 now. Play fake. Tolliver rolls left side. A lose one would-be tackler now at the corner. Bumped out of bounds. And it'll depend on the mark. He may have lost a yard on the play. That is when Tolliver's really at his best, when they move him outside the pocket.
Number 41 for Peachtree Ridge is Aaron Blue. Provided pressure from the outside, really broke that play down before it had a chance to really get into any kind of rhythm. Peachtree Ridge defense also key. You're going to hear the name of number 76, Cameron Haywood, all evening long.
3rd down and 11 now for Roswell. Tolliver play fakes. Looks up top. Got a man sticking across the middle. Catch is made by Nalcerio, and Nalcerio gets it up to the 29-yard line, and that's enough for the Hornet first down.
Excellent job of finding the gap in the defense. Now, none of the receivers are what you would have blazing speed, but they do a great job of finding the gaps. Right at the 25-yard line, Nalcerio makes the reception.
So the Hornets pick up the first down. First completion of the ball game for Tolliver. Short drop, pitch pass out the flats, catch made by Broadway, or Bidell for the Hornets, and Bidell got it up near the 35. Short hitch pass in the flats, good for 5 yards, Mark.
DJ Bidell is also listed as a defensive back. Again, they love to spread the ball. That is Roswell. They're the good hands people. You know, if your Aunt Mabel has one of those Ming Dynasty bases he's trying to move, these are the guys you want to trust because they do not drop the football.
No drops. Bidell with the catch. 2nd down and 5. Or 2nd and 4, we'll call it, for the Hornets. Another hitch pass. This one going to the right side. Same receiver, Bidell. This time caught in his tracks, and a flag coming in at the end of that play. Play may have gone for a yard, but we'll check the flag coming in afterwards.
Tolliver did an excellent job just on a simple 2-step drop. Turn, receiver faces him, makes the catch, and picks up what he can after the reception.
So another hold against that Hornet offense.
Some teams try to establish the run to set up the pass. Roswell is talented enough with the short passing game to use the pass to set up the run.
Danny Westbrook's the referee. Doug Asher is the umpire. John Zimbabo is the linesman. David Flores, line judge. Back judge is Eric Patterson. And Mark Brooks is the field judge from the Atlanta Area Football Officials Association, calling this 5A championship game.
Another thing to watch for the Roswell receivers, Charles, they're very relaxed when they catch the ball. They're disciplined. They run excellent routes.
2nd down, 13. Tolliver set to go. This slot is to the top of your screen. Now bring a man in motion. And they give it on the delay handoff. It's Daniel with the football. Daniel near the 37-yard line, close to the first down marker as well.
If Daniel is playing on a sprained knee, he didn't show much evidence on that plant and cut right at the 25-yard line, which gave him the space to maneuver for the big game.
Close to the marker.
See if you can catch the plant by Daniel right there. He was actually on the right foot. He's got the brace on the left, but did an excellent job finding space.
Kowalski-Simpson on the stop for Peachtree. As they bring on the chains here at Cantrell Stadium to check out the yardage. Daniel, as you indicate, Mark, with that left sprained knee, also had a twisted ankle. And he's just a bit shy of a first down.
And his coach, Tim McFarland, said Alex is a warrior. He's not the friendliest guy to be around when he's not playing. He actually tried to call his dad on his cell phone when he was sitting on the bench to tell the coach to put him in the game.
That's wanting it bad. That'll make it third down and less than a yard for the Hornets. Sneak ahead himself for the first down, spins his way up to the 40, and has gotten enough for the Hornet first.
The nice thing about Tolliver is he's 6'3", 200 pounds, so he's big enough. He gets the snap and just a little bit of a push up front. He can pick up the short yardage.
Hornets 13-1 on the season.
Nothing fancy, just right behind center.
Their best season since 1970. Last year, they lost in the second round to Parkview. Close one there, 28-27. First and 10 now from their own 40-yard line. Right side, Daniel spins back to the inside. Now works his way near midfield. Tripp on the stop for Peachtree Ridge. But Alex Daniels starting to find the crease now.
An outstanding block by number 72, Matt Cobb, the offensive lineman for Roswell, on Cameron Haywood. Haywood was trying to spin towards the middle of the play where it was developing, just wasn't able to get out of traffic. And as a result, Roswell picks up another chunk of yards.
Daniel at running back this year. Last year was a defensive back and a wide receiver. So he's had a chance to play a lot of positions for the Hornets and just a junior. Second down, less than a yard again for the Hornets. Tolliver pumps once, rolling right side now. Here comes the pressure. Breaks containment, throws it upfield, threw it into traffic. Pass goes incomplete.
Tolliver did an excellent job of evading the pressure provided by a brilliant Trahan, number 4 of Peachtree Ridge. Trahan actually had an angle on him, but Tolliver showed some nice escapability, if you will, going to the sideline and buying enough time to deliver the pass a little bit longer than the receiver would have liked to receive it.
Intended for Nacilio, but that one a little long. Third down, 1. Near midfield. Daniels got enough for the first in the Peachtree Ridge secondary near the 41. Trahan made the stop, but a big ground gainer by Alex Daniel. Now we take a look at him going toward that sideline, Mark. It looks to be that ankle.
That's a tough sign for Daniel, who has that huge brace. His dad said when the other kids were watching cartoons, he was watching ESPN. And if Daniel has any personality, if he was a cartoon, he'd be the Tasmanian Devil.
First and 10 from the 42. Daniel a bit upset about having to leave the ball game. Hornets on a drive. Tolliver pumps, throws across the route. This one picked off. Good defensive read by the Philip Davis for the Lions, and Davis back the other way near the 33-yard line. A big play by that Lion defense. He read Tolliver all the way.
Davis is 5'9", 165, drops into coverage. He's the all-time interception leader with 9. Just really stayed at home, read the pass perfectly, and a big return deep into Roswell territory.
Hornets were moving the football with success. They turn it over on the interception. Lions back the other way. That's Davis with the football. Davis may have gotten it back to the line of scrimmage, but not much more. In fact, lost a yard on the play.
Brandon Davis enters the game 1,820 yards for the career. He also had 11 receptions for 112 yards. So he's going to be a player that Roswell will have to contend with coming out of the backfield catching the ball.
Like his counterpart, Alex Daniel. Brandon Davis a bit injured tonight, but going, got a bruised leg, but still in that Lions lineup. 2nd and 11. Left side. Keep it on the ground. Carry by Fleming. Fleming near the 25-yard line and close to the first down marker. Fleming, not many carries in the course of the season, but very effective there as an alternate to Davis.
Once more from ground level, Peachtree Ridge trying to get a push. Short yardage coming up on this 3rd and 2 call.
Embry on the stop for the Hornets. But from the 25-yard line of the Hornets, the Lions face the 3rd and 2. The 6'5" Graham under center. Right side will go to Davis. He's got the first down, fighting ahead. And look at the surge by the Hornets defensively. But the mark should give him the first.
Nice chip block up front for Peachtree Ridge by number 52, Kevin Peranuzzi. Enough for the first down. Peranuzzi's leading the play. The running back does an excellent job of reading off the block, getting into traffic.
Ben Allen in on the stop for Roswell. 1st and 10 for the Lions, though, down at the 22 of the Hornets. On the season, Davis, over 1,100 yards, 218 carries, over 5 yards per carry average. Fleming once again, this time hit and wrapped up. Good tackle by Abil Okapu for the Hornets. You talk about textbook, Okapu does it on that tackle.
Also with the assist, give a credit to Matt Cobb on that play. Excellent pursuit by Roswell, getting the penetration in backfield, and the form tackle by Okapu.
Take the legs, they have to fall. Squaring up nicely in the hole. 2nd down and 8. Under a minute remains, 1st quarter. Graham, play fake, rolls, raises, fires, got a man on a comeback route. That's his favorite receiver, Haynes. Haynes with a soft grab near the 7-yard line. That's enough for the Lion first down.
If you want to describe Zach Graham, Charles, you have to say he's got that creative control. He's very fluid as a scrambler. He feels the pressure and makes a sidearm throw to his favorite target, Sidney Haynes. They've been playing together a long time. They actually grew up playing football together, and Haynes is the player that he loves to go to at 6'4".
Wheeler on the coverage for Roswell. In the red zone, the Lions of Peachtree Ridge. Haynes on the season, 44 receptions.
The 12.6 yards average.
On the ground, Davis looking for some room. Bottled up and pulled down behind the line of scrimmage. Curtis Hazelton and Ben Allen in on the stop with the Hornets.
Dixon Pino, number 51 of Peachtree Ridge, just not able to find anyone to block. He was right at the start of that play, and Pino really was supposed to lead it, but I got caught up. And the running back, as a result, thrown for a short loss.
Now timeout taken by the Lions of Peachtree Ridge.
Roswell comes to the sideline, as well as Peachtree Ridge. Both units trying to get instruction.
I actually didn't take a timeout. They're just letting the time run out to end that first quarter. After one in the 5A championship ball game, still no score between the Lions of Peachtree Ridge and the Hornets of Roswell. We'll start the second after this timeout.
Sunday night will be music to your ears with 3 music specials on GPB. First at 7, it's Celtic Woman, A New Journey. Then at 9, Chris Bodie Live. And finally at 10:30, He Touched Me, the gospel music of Elvis. It all begins Sunday night at 7 on GPB.
Broadcast of this program is made possible in part by the following.
As a proud sponsor of the Georgia High School Association, Georgia's Electric Membership Corporations provide reliable electricity and service, not only to our communities, but to the athletes within them. Georgia's Electric Membership Corporations, lighting the way.
Wachovia helps our customers stay informed about important issues by supporting GPB. We see it as an essential part of our commitment to serve our growing state. With hundreds of financial centers and ATMs in Georgia, Wachovia can help you realize your financial goals.
In 1856, 1,200 immigrants were stranded on the high plains of Wyoming. More than 100 wagon teams from Salt Lake City raced to save them in one of the greatest acts of heroism in 19th century America.
Monday at 9 on Georgia Public Broadcasting.
Funding for this program is provided by the Georgia High School Association. The GHSA would like to thank Verizon Wireless for the outstanding support of high school sports programming on GPB.
Hello, I'm Ralph Swearingen. More than 163,000 Georgia students compete in high school sports, and nearly 84,000 participate in GHSA non-athletic competition. These sports and activities enrich educational experiences. On behalf of Verizon Wireless and the GHSA, thank you for your support.
This is Georgia Public Broadcasting, your PBS station.
Back live, start of the second quarter. Before we resume play, let's go down to Jim Ginocchio for an injury update. Jim.
Thanks, guys. An update on number 4, Alex Daniel, the junior running back. He had an existing high ankle sprain. He will be back in the ball game.
So that is good news for the Hornets. Daniel at the sideline, but the good news for the Lions of Peachtree Ridge. They're inside the red zone.
The only way you're going to keep Alex Daniel out of the game is to take him out in the ambulance.
Down at the 12-yard line. The Lions of Peachtree Ridge. Second down and goal to go from the 12. Graham under center with the snap. Pitches right side. Davis looking for a block. He's got one. Bump down hard near the 5-yard line. That'll bring up third down.
Davis did an excellent job of cutting inside the attempted tackle of number 5, Quentin Franklin of Roswell. Franklin was trying to size him up from that defensive back position, coming up to the line of scrimmage to add some pressure. But the move and the cut back to the inside got the positive yards on the run.
Rich Kern in on the stop for Roswell. And a timeout taken by the Lions of Peachtree Ridge. Lions of Peachtree Ridge, 4th seed from Region 7. The youngest state finalist in 27 years. It's viewers like you that help make great local programs like these high school football games possible on Georgia Public Broadcasting. To show your support, simply visit our website at www.gpb.org. It's totally secure, simple to use, and it takes just 2 minutes. And thank you for supporting Georgia Public Broadcasting. We hope you've enjoyed our semifinal coverage from last weekend and championship coverage this weekend. The 4A championship last night and then the 5A tonight. Teams with 3 losses, Peachtree Ridge got the 3 losses right now, trying to become the only 3rd team to win the state championship with 3 losses. Lowndes did it in 1999, and way back in 1947, Lanier did it. So Peachtree Ridge trying to get into some very good company in terms of their winning this championship ball game. School's only 4 years old. Third down. Goal to go for the Lions. Graham, they're going to go on a reverse. Haynes with the football. Now he'll try to toss it upfield, and he almost threw an interception. Allen juggled the football for the Hornets, almost came away with the interception. So the Lions going into the book to try to fool that Hornet defense and almost turned it over.
Haynes trying to evade the big tackle for a loss by number 79, Justin Bird of Roswell, who had excellent pursuit and did what you don't want to have any player do, that is rolling to the left and trying to throw to the left off the wrong foot.
Drew Butler on now to try a 22-yard field goal for the Lions. See if they can get something out of this drive. They get it down. The kick by Butler. And Butler missed it right. He got it high airborne, but he just kept it out hanging the right side. So the Hornets take it back on offense.
And they get a huge round of applause from their supporters seated on the near sideline, and the cannon as well.
Butler missed on the 22-yard effort. Now the Hornets come back on offense. We're still scoreless in the 5A championship football game. Tolliver to the line of scrimmage. Quick play at the line. They give it to Daniels, back in the lineup. Daniel got it up near the 22-yard line.
Daniel just a bit slow getting up after that last run. Really testing that knee and ankle out after he spent extended time on the bench during the last offensive series by Peachtree Ridge.
2nd down and 8 now for the Hornets. Hornets with a 24-10 win over the Blue Devils in Tift County last weekend in the semifinals. Fake on the draw play. Tolliver, keep it left side. Got some room at the corner. Tolliver scoots out of bounds near the 31-yard line. Picked up the 1st down for the Hornets. Gibbs shoved him out of bounds, but after the 1st down run.
On that play, Charles, Peachtree Ridge had very soft coverage on the slot receiver, number 8, Jim Broadway of Roswell. Broadway, wearing number 8, was actually signaling to his quarterback at about the 30-yard line that he was wide open. But as a result, the quarterback takes it himself and picks up the 1st down.
So Tolliver, the junior, on the run left side for the 1st. Line of scrimmage now the 31. Vidal in motion. They'll throw it to him right side. Vidal quickly tackled. Good open field job by Derek Bryant for the Lions.
That time Roswell brought P.J. Vidal in motion from the left side all the way to the right, but he wound up, Charles, in the same slot position that he would normally line up in. Again, Peachtree Ridge, very soft coverage between the wideout position and the tight end position.
Bryant with the good open field tackle. 2nd down and 12 for the Hornets. Bryant, really one of the leaders of that Lions secondary. As Tolliver takes a short drop, looking left, fires. Catch made by McNaclerow at the 45.
Roswell seems to have found a soft spot in the seam. McClario lined up to the left in the slot, came back to the right, found the soft space, makes the catch.
McClario with a fine job on the route for the Hornets.
And Roswell's not very greedy, Charles. They're just taking what the Peachtree Ridge defense is giving them. No long patterns. These patterns they're running are like in the 5 to 8 yard variety.
1st and 10 from the 43. On the ground, Daniel left side up to the 45-yard line. Let's give him 2 on the carry. Kroll on the stop for the Lions.
Roswell's offense now seems to be settling into a bit of a rhythm. They've made some completions. They've gotten their wide receivers involved. They've spread the ball around, as we talked about in the beginning of the game, and follow that, spreading the ball with the run by the big guy.
2nd and 8 for the Hornets. Tolliver, play fake. Looks to his left, now going up top. Intended for Vidal, but thrown out of bounds. Good defensive coverage by Philip Davis for the Lions.
Philip Davis, one of the defensive backs for Peachtree Ridge, we talked about it at the open. He's the all-time interception leader. Had 33 tackles during the season.
Davis already committed to the Naval Academy. Broke his thumb during the playoffs. Was voted this past week first team all-county in Gwinnett County.
He uses his speed. Davis is only 5'9", 165. He's not a big guy, but he covers a lot of ground.
And in case you're wondering, Brandon, the running back, is his brother. 3rd down, 8 for the Hornets. Short drop by Tolliver. Now he pumps. Pressure forces him right side. He eludes one. Now cuts back against the grain. He's got some room there. Got a nice block backside. At the 30. Finally chased out of bounds near the 26-yard line. Simpson pushes him out of bounds. But a nice read of the play by the quarterback.
Quarterbacks sometimes don't need to have a lot of speed. They just need to be elusive enough. On the last play, Peachtree Ridge's trade Tripp, number 40, had pressure at about the 35-yard line. Tripp was thrown off balance by the subtle move by the quarterback to get to the open space. He cuts back inside of Tripp and decides to take it himself back towards the middle of the field for a huge gain.
Tolliver avoids 3 would-be tacklers on the play. There's one that misses, a second there. He cuts back against the grain for a 29-yard run for the Hornets. And they are inside of Lion territory. On the ground. Daniels chops over one defender. At the 10. Touchdown, Hornets.
I don't think Alex Daniels feeling much pain in that ankle or knee right about now.
You will not see a final run. Broadway on for the point after. And the Hornets get our first score of the ball game. They lead it on a 26-yard touchdown. Phenomenal run by Alex Daniel. And the point after 7-0. Hornets with the lead.
You almost want to cue the Olympic music for the high hurdles as Daniel went about 5 yards, takes the handoff, and then whoop, right there, he's in the open space, and you're not going to catch the freight train.
Caps it off with the lunge into the end zone. No ill effects of a sprained knee there.
He'll get a lot of ribbing from the guys from the sideline for that one. He'll go back to the bench, and all of his offensive linemen will just give the look to him. You're not hurt. Get back in there.
Alex Daniel on the 26-yard touchdown run for Roswell, and they take the lead. 8-play, 80-yard drive, 3 minutes, 11 seconds off the clock. And Alex Daniel in your screen there from 26 yards away, capping it off for the Hornets. So far at 60 yards on the night, 9 carries, 26-yard touchdown run.
He's listed at running a 4.5 40. And that, you may have to put an asterisk next to that. 4.5 40 on a bad wheel.
Broadway will kick. Haynes stands near the 10. Short kick by Broadway. Fielded by one of the up men for the Lions is Brandon King. King spins it to the 20-yard line, but the seat catches up with him. A good defensive stop by Kyle Gronkowski for the Hornets. So the Lions take it back on offense. Momentum favoring the Hornets of Roswell after the exciting run for touchdowns.
Here's Tim McFarland on the sideline with the stoic expression.
First and 10 at about 20.
Shotgun for Graham and the Lions. Short roll right side. Graham fires. That man out there. Catch made by Bryant for the Lions, and that's enough for the first down.
At 6'5", 225, Peachtree Ridge does an effective job of still rolling Graham to the right, giving him an excellent lane to throw. The sidearm delivery on the money.
Derek Bryant, defensive back, also plays wide receiver for the Lions. Good catch there. First and 10 for Peachtree Ridge. 4 receptions and 100 yards for Bryant on the season. Graham gonna roll left side this time. Now stops, gonna reverse his field. Throws it back against the grain, a flag coming in. Bryant with the catch again. 2 flags coming in that backfield of the Lions.
Give credit to number 58, Curtis Hazelton of Roswell, for providing the pressure from the outside. We'll sort out the calls.
2 of the flags tossed in the backfield. likely going against the Lions here. They're stepping back. Indeed it will. Graham was rolling left.
We have a block in the back on the offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
When you start rolling like that, Mark, one way, and then you have things shut off. You have to reverse field. A lot of times the offensive blockers kind of get caught up trying to do the right thing for you and block for you, but catching defenders coming back, and they usually get them in the back. Holding as well. On the ground, they'll keep it this time. Davis fights up near the 26-yard line. May have gotten 3 on the carry. That'll make it 3rd and long.
Roswell's doing an excellent job of mixing up its defensive looks. Peachtree Ridge has a challenge now to sort out those looks and see if they can pick up a huge chunk on this 2nd and long call.
Knutson on the stop for the Hornets. 2nd and 24, we'll call it. Under 7 minutes remains, first half. Lone setback behind Graham. Play fake. Short drop. Try to set the screen, middle of the field. Bryant's got the football. Wrapped up immediately near the 31-yard line.
Ridge Kern for Roswell. He wears number 40. Did an excellent job of dropping into short coverage from his linebacker position and getting a hit in on the running back on that short gain.
Lions had 2 options on that pass route. One was Davis at the left of your screen, and Bryant coming across at the top. There he makes the catch. But the Hornets willing to give up that amount of yardage in that situation, looking at 3rd and still long. Graham rolling left side. Nowadays he's got a man behind the coverage. Wide open with the catch is Sean Foley. Foley out of bounds at the 31-yard line.
Zach Graham's eyes were focused on number 22, Brandon King, at about the 35-yard line. But with the tremendous ability to roll and flick the ball downfield with just the wrist, gets it deep enough for the first down.
36-yard reception to Sean Foley. Foley just found the seam in that secondary and sat there. 1st and 10, a big conversion for Peachtree Ridge. Quick pitch right side. Davis looking for the corner. Now has a reverse field, and the Hornets swarming near the 32.
Braden Knutson once again for Roswell, number 52. First man on the spot, an excellent pursuit for Roswell.
Line of scrimmage to 32. Good defensive work by Roswell on that play. 5:30 remains first half.
Okapu, the linebacker, he wears number 2, also got in on the play. Look at the surge of green jerseys to the point of attack. Okapu right there in your screen.
On the ground now, left side. Turned in over end was King with the football. Got it down near the 25. It'll stay with the Lions. Short hitting pass. Go ahead, Mark.
Short pass into the flat. The running back got almost enough for the first down. This is a very interesting 3rd and 2 call coming up for Peachtree Ridge.
Whistles at the line of scrimmage. Officials stepping in to confer on this 3rd and 2.
You know, the 2 student papers of both schools had a top 10 contest going. Roswell's Hornet student paper, The Sting, on their top 10 list. They said, you call that school spirit? We'll introduce you to the Roswell Rowdies. Peachtree Ridge student papers called the Roar. They answered with, on their top 10 list, number 6, our mascot can eat yours.
Cross campus jaunting. 3rd down 2. There was a sideline warning for the Hornets of Roswell. Short hitch pass out the flats. They get it to Haynes. Haynes coverage up front of him. Good defensive work by Okapu. Okapu stops him behind the line of scrimmage.
Graham did the intelligent thing to throw the ball away from the defensive pursuit. Unfortunately, it was away from his receiver as well. He had to turn back, and his momentum was taking him back toward the line of scrimmage instead of upfield.
So now Butler will come on now to try a field goal. This will be a 42-yard effort. 4th down and 4. Graham is the holder. They put it down. Butler got enough leg on it, no question about that. Did he get the accuracy this time? Yes, he did. 42 yards away, Drew Butler gets the Peachtree Ridge on the scoreboard. 7-3 to lead for the Hornets of Roswell. We'll step aside for a timeout.
Funding for this program is provided by the Georgia High School Association. The GHSA would like to thank Dodge for the outstanding support of high school sports programming on GPB. Dodge dealerships across Georgia are proud to bring you the exciting action of GHSA Championship Football. As the official vehicle of the GHSA, Dodge salutes the hard work, community spirit, and dedication of these two fine teams. Thanks for tuning into GPB, and please enjoy the rest of the game. Dodge, grab life by the horns.
42-yard field goal by Drew Butler. Peachtree Ridge is on the scoreboard. Still traded to the Hornets of Roswell, 7-3, 4 minutes, 10 seconds left first half.
A well-played first half so far, Charles. Both teams mixing it up on offense, still seemingly feeling one another out, but they're starting to get the ball into positions where they can put points on the board.
3 minutes, 49 seconds on the drive by Peachtree Ridge. 8 plays, 54 yards. 42-yard field goal by Drew Butler. Butler set to kick it. Leonard stands deep. So does Watson for the Hornets of Roswell. Lions, 7-game winning streak, kicking it away. Leonard over his head, touched back, so the Hornets will start this drive from their own 20.
Going into the locker room at the half, head coach Tim McFarland would like nothing better than to see if he can sustain a little bit of a drive going into the half, pick up a couple of first downs, maintain ball possession.
Alex Davis did a fine job on the last possession for the Hornets. See how much they go to him here. 4 minutes, 10 seconds remains in this first half of football. Oliver under center. Daniel with it. He's met at the line of scrimmage. The surge by the Lions led by Cameron Hayward. Loss of about 3 or 4 on that play.
Curious defensive alignment for Peachtree Ridge also on that last play. Brilliant Trahan was lined up at outside linebacker about 5 yards off the line of scrimmage, almost in a cornerback or strong safety position.
Hayward named Gwinnett County Defensive Lineman of the Year this past week. Showed everybody the reason why on that play.
He's a basketball player. He likes to use the spin move.
2nd down, 15. Pump once by Tolliver. Going up top's got a man streaking down the sideline. Catch is made by Embry. Nobody will catch Embry, though. 10-5, touchdown Hornets. Garrett Embry, the junior, got behind the coverage. 87 yards later, touchdown Hornets.
We talked about the touch on the ball by Dustin Tolliver. Embry was streaking down this sideline and just ran over under a perfect pass. And the closest player to him, Kaboski Simpson, was about 5 yards behind him.
Broadway on now to try point after. Broadway is good for the Hornets. They lead it now 14-3. 83-yard touchdown reception by Garrett Embry. And Dustin Tolliver, the junior, with a nice soft pass Emery with the run after catch, able to take it in for the touchdown.
Receivers love the ball that is easy to catch. That one just landed softly into the hands of Emery. He took it all away.
So the Hornets strike right after the field goal by Butler and the Lions. They come back and get the touchdown.
One of the few times you'll actually see a Roswell receiver allow the ball to touch his shoulder pads. You saw the point of the ball come in ever so slightly, touch his pads, but he caught the ball in both hands and kept on stepping.
As Emery was running down the sideline, he had some help at the sideline. Coach McFarland, we won't say with him step for step, but cheering him on into the end zone. 2 plays, 80 yards, less than a minute. And Coach McFarland doesn't appear to be winded. So the Hornets answer right back. Broadway to kick it. With 3:17 left first half. Lions will have it back. Haynes stands deep. They have been kicking away from Haynes by just kind of pooching it. We'll see what they do here. Same thing, opposite side of the field. Bounces are going to be fielded by Bryant. He stepped out of bounds near the 16-yard line. Derek Bryant was over there trying to collect it to get a run on it, but he stepped out of bounds.
You got to make a decision. Either you let it go out of bounds or you return it while it's in the field of play. He caught the ball effectively enough, but on that right foot plant, stepped on the sideline.
So the Lions start to drive from their 17. Blair Armstrong, second year at Peachtree Ridge. He's trying to join an elite group of schools in the state. The youngest going into a state championship final in 27 years, trying to become one of 3 with 3 losses. Graham perfect on the night. Throwing 7s. Now he's got 8 in a row. Catch made by King. King at the corner, bounced out of bounds near the 27. Flag tossed in near the 15.
You may get a hold on number 7, Sean Foley, trying to block Dominique Wheeler of Roswell on the corner.
Just trying to get the pass into the hands of the speedy King.
Let's go ahead, Charles, and give Dominique Wheeler the Velcro for tonight. It's not the player that makes the hold. It's the player that forces the hold. So Dominique Wheeler, he gets the Velcro.
You finally got it in. This new statistical category you created.
Correction, check half the distance of the goal from the spot of the foul, still first down.
So just so we're clear now, explain that Velcro again.
The Velcro is the player that forces the hold, not the player that made the hold.
You need help. First down, 19 after the assessment against the Lions. It'll be shotgun for Graham. Graham in the end zone, ranges right side, now throws back to the middle. Bryant with the catch squaring up. Now working it right side near the 27-yard line. Just like that, the Lions pick up the first down.
Excellent job by Derek Bryant to find the seam right in the middle of the field at the 25-yard line. Did an excellent job of working through traffic and providing his quarterback Graham a target. You got to love how Graham just flips the ball off the back foot, his right foot, going towards the end zone, but having enough arm strength to get it to his receiver.
Less than 3 minutes remaining. First and 10 from the 29. Graham once again, right side. Now fires another one upfield, flicks it to Bryant again. Bryant out of bounds near the 46-yard line.
If there is any analogy to Zach Graham's throwing motion, he has the delivery of a dart player because the ball rarely goes beyond his ear flap of the helmet. He's able to step back, make the read, and deliver the ball with a short flip. Watch the arm motion right there. Not much, and he's able to throw off either foot.
Derek Bryant with another catch for the Lions. Just inside of Hornet territory at the 49. Graham shotgun again. On the ground, Davis, left side, nothing there. Hornets. Knutson leading the charge for the Hornets. And you get the sense that they are not going to let Brandon Davis beat him on the ground. Shut him down thus far in the first half. Good job for the Hornets. 2nd down and 11, loss of 1 on the play.
Ridge going no huddle.
Clock running at 2:08. King in motion. Graham with the football. Dumps it to Davis. Nice one-handed catch. Davis bounced out of bounds near midfield. Emery on the push-out hit for the Hornets.
Graham with a very fluid throw once again to the sideline. The sidearm delivery picks up about 3 yards.
Third and 7 now for the Lions. We're under 2 minutes remaining first half. Slot is at the bottom of the screen. Graham will roll that way. The pressure at the corner. Graham stiff arms, now reverses, fires it upfield on the comeback route. Pass goes incomplete. Intended for King downfield. It's amazing that Graham even got the pass off.
He did 2 things on that last elusive play up from under center. The footwork to spin out of the attempted tackle, and then the ability to find a man upfield. Watch the spin by Graham as he eludes the first tackle and is able to gather himself and throw off balance in the area of the receiver.
First incomplete pass of the ball game for Zach Graham. Making it 4th down and 6. Timeout taken on the field. The Hornets of Roswell took it. A minute 48 left. Butler was on the field, showing they were going to punt it. It's viewers like you that help make great local programs like these high school football games possible on Georgia Public Broadcasting. To show your support, simply visit our website at www.gpb.org. It's totally secure, simple to use, and takes just 2 minutes. And thank you for supporting Georgia Public Broadcasting. So 4th down and 6 for the Lions. A minute, less than 2 minutes remaining first half. Butler on the punt it. They're showing that. Vidal will stand near the 12. Roswell leading it 5A championship football game 14-3. Butler with the kick. Vidal will let it bounce. Rolls down near the 11-yard line, and that's where the Hornets will have it. Hornets turned in their best season since 1970, 35 years ago, looking to add their 3rd state title.
And Roswell has kind of embraced the underdog role as motivation to defeat Brookwood in the 2nd round and Tipp County in the semifinals.
From the 11, Hornets will take the football. They have a 14-3 lead. On the ground, Daniel angles back to the inside. You could hear the crunching from up here. Got it up near the 15. Kroll on the stop for the Lions of Peachtree Ridge. Make it 2nd down and 7.
Looks like we're going to get an official's timeout down on the field.
Now they'll get play going as Tolliver and the Hornets break it to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 7 is what the Hornets face. Under a minute remaining. They're going to run it down as much as they can before they actually snap the football. Vidal in motion. Daniel on the ground. Fighting ahead near the 18-yard line. Davidson on the stop for Peachtree Ridge.
And now Peachtree Ridge calls timeout.
39 seconds left first half. Ideas perhaps of getting that football back.
Talking about Roswell being the underdog, Peachtree Ridge winning those 3 road playoff games to make the Dome after finishing 4th in Region 7 5A.
John Nelson at sideline. Nelly.
Keeping an eye on Cameron Hayward real quick, guys. The left ankle has been bugging him so far tonight, and you'll notice that on defense he's lined up on the right-hand side of the defensive line so he doesn't have to push off that left ankle. He's being double-teamed, and it's been a long night for him so far. He's even gotten treatment for it, stretching it out on the sideline, so it's been a long night. Hopefully for him it won't get any longer.
Thanks, John. We'll keep an eye on that. See if the Hornets actually start running away from Cameron's new position by virtue of the ankle injury. 3rd down and 3. Roswell High School, a Fulton County school.
You know, with Hayward injured, Charles, going to be on defensive lineman Trey Tripp and Aaron Blue to really step up the pace and see if they can fill in for Hayward.
Well, Blue's already made a couple nice tackles for the Lions defensively. It'll take a lot more, you're right. A lot of teams just decidedly run away from Hayward anyway, forcing the other guys to step up. 3rd down. On the ground, pitch left side, Daniel behind the line of scrimmage. Good defensive surge by the Lions will stop him short. The Lions take another quick timeout. Davidson then on the stop again for Peachtree Ridge.
Give credit to Peachtree Ridge coach Blair Armstrong for calling a very timely timeout. His defense stepping up, getting a stop, and trying to get one more shot at an offensive possession.
Butler's got long range in terms of field goals. Maybe considering getting that football back, at least try to get it in field goal position for Butler.
You talk about Butler. He also has that 42-yard punt average.
We caught up with Coach Armstrong to get his thoughts about what's special about this team, and here he is.
I guess the biggest thing is our overcoming adversity. We lost our quarterback in the first series of the first game, starting quarterback that worked the whole summer to get ready, and then several offensive line injuries. By the 6th game, we had 3 original starters off the first game offense, so we've had some adversity.
Coach Armstrong, a special group at Peachtree Ridge. Alluded to it before. School only opened in 2003, and here they are vying for the 5A championship. So Broadway now will have to punt it, and he does. Haynes over the shoulder catch, fumbled it momentarily, regains. He's at midfield, now at the 40, dances back to the inside, spins to the 40, wraps his way down near the 35. So the Lions, are you kidding me, going to have pretty much what they want. They've got good field position with 24 seconds remaining first half.
You won't find a better run blending toughness and creativity as Haynes, as you mentioned, fumbled the punt after the misread of the flight of the ball, but was able to gather himself and pick up about 15 yards on the return.
It's Derek Bryant on that return for the Lions, Mark, and he got it up to that 35. So Bryant with the great hands on that punt. Graham in the offense with a chance to score before the break. Graham rolling right side. He's got a crease there. Steps in, spins back. Now spins again and hit near the 35. They have gotten a yard, if that. Waddell on the stop for the Hornets. No huddle for Graham. Graham grounds it immediately. 6.7 seconds left first half. Line of scrimmage is the 35-yard line.
This would be about a 57-yard attempt.
They will bring Butler on to do it. If they put it down here, it would be a 51-yard effort, Mark.
Let's make it 52 from where it is. Now his longest, he had a 49-yard field goal in 2005. His longest is actually 56.
6.7 seconds remains first half. Timeout taken. So Coach Armstrong, credit him and the coaching staff. They managed to time very well there to get that football back with an opportunity to score. Coach McFarland, head coach of Roswell, we caught up with him to get his thoughts about what's special about his team as well.
The chemistry. It's a year where you're not going to see any of our seniors being highly recruited or Division I athletes, and so you know, we had to come together and play as a team. They've had good focus this year. They've had a unique ability to win, you know, close ball games, and I think it's made us better.
52-yard effort coming here by Drew Butler for Peachtree Ridge. This could go a long way to help their momentum going into the locker room.
The holder is Graham.
High snap to get it down. Butler got it airborne. Don't think he got enough leg, though. Yeah, he's short. 3 or 4 yards short on the kick, but a flag at the line of scrimmage. No time on the clock, but the half cannot end on the penalty, so we'll see.
Drew Butler just seemed to get underneath that ball, Charles. On a long attempt, you really have to drive it more. We'll sort out the penalty and see if he gets a second shot.
He's setting up as though he will.
Number 1.
And indeed he will. Roughing the kicker, he'll get the advantage of additional yardage. Rolling into him was Wheeler. Butler asking for the flag. He got it.
We have a personal foul, roughing the kicker on the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Butler must be listening to Dad, who says if you feel contact, just act like you've been shot.
Now this will be a 37-yard effort by Butler. So the Lions have yet another chance. This one down, kicked it high, looked short and wide as well. Snap was a bit high. Graham had to raise to grab it. That may have thrown the sequence off, and the field goal misses. And the Hornets lead it at the intermission 14-3 after the 2 field goal efforts fail for the Lions. Let's go downstairs to Jim Ginocchio with Coach McFarland. Jim.
Coach, a great first half, great defense on your part from the team.
Yeah, they're playing good defense too, but yeah, we played great defense, had a couple of stops there, and the missed field goals helped. We've got to be able to run the football a little bit better in the second half, though. We can't leave our defense out there all night like that.
Okay. All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Back upstairs to Charlie.
Thanks, Jim. 14-3 at the intermission. Roswell leading the Lions of Peachtree Ridge. We'll step aside and we'll have some halftime music for you from Cantrell Stadium. 5A championships on GPB. Coming back after this.
This is Celtic Woman, their new show on PBS. Celtic Woman, A New Journey, filmed at Slane Castle in Ireland. Don't miss this spectacular concert. Celtic Woman, A New Journey.
Sunday at 7 on Georgia Public Broadcasting.
Broadcast of this program is made possible in part by the following.
The Georgia Student Finance Commission. Now students can plan, apply, and pay for colleges in Georgia on one website, gacollege411.org.
And by the Mabel Reader Foundation.
Discover the magic of trumpeter Chris Bodie as he's joined by Sting, Gladys Knight, Paula Cole, Burt Bacharach, Jill Scott, and others in Chris Bodie Live with orchestra and special guests.
Sunday at 9 on Georgia Public Broadcasting.
Funding for this program is provided by the Georgia High School Association. The GHSA would like to thank State Farm for the outstanding support of high school sports programming on GPB. State Farm is proud to be the official awards presenter of the GHSA, recognizing outstanding achievements by Georgia's student athletes in competitive sports and activities. State Farm wants families and teens to always drive safe in your communities as you travel to work, school, or play. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
With fame came an emptiness that only one thing could fill. He was an ordinary kid from Tupelo who became the king of rock and roll. He Touched Me, the gospel music of Elvis Presley.
Sunday at 10:30 on Georgia Public Broadcasting.
I'm Mark Wahlberg. Join us as we discover the hidden treasures of Providence, Rhode Island.
So do you want the good news first or the bad news first?
Whoa, seriously? You're kidding. Don't miss our visit to Providence next time on Antiques Roadshow.
Monday at 8 on Georgia Public Broadcasting. This is Georgia Public Broadcasting, your PBS station.
At the intermission of the 5A state championships, it's the Hornets from Roswell 14-3 over the Lions of Peachtree Ridge. At the intermission, the fans here being entertained by the Peachtree Ridge Band, Roaring Lions Marching Band with 150 members, Director Eric Willoughby and Carrie Anderson, drum majors Kyle Pate, Krista Robertson, and Sade Seaborn. Bands performing Noisy Wheels of Joy. Theme forward is whether by car, plane, or train, Peachtree Ridge Band will take you there. So sit back and enjoy the ride. We'll go down and give you a lesson. Peachtree Ridge Band performing. John Nelson standing by the sideline. Nelly.
Thank you, Charles. Here with the Peachtree Ridge folks, we have AD Bill Holloman with us, and we also have Dr. Stephen Flint, who's the principal of the school. We'll go to athletics in a little bit, so hang with me. We'll start with academics, and the new guy who started in January of '06. You're the rookie. You got a good streak going.
Oh, that's right. It's been quite a ride this year, but you know, it's a great school. The staff has just been incredibly helpful. We have some great students. Our coaches, our students, our athletes are all there, and you know, the community's out to help us. They've been very supportive, so it's been a fun ride.
Now, we also have state champions in other sports at Peachtree Ridge. Let's talk about that a little bit. Cheerleading, I believe.
Yes, our competition cheerleading squad led off the year with us with their their second state championship. It's back-to-back. But one of the interesting things is every one of our fall sports teams is qualified for state championship play. So it's been an amazing fall for us.
And I know that as a coach, I think it's soccer and tennis for you, right? Or was it soccer in the old days?
Well, soccer still. Some people think it's the old days still, but I'm still around.
Okay, hang with me for a second. What else is going on at Peachtree Ridge that folks need to know about? I know that you're really proud of a lot of folks.
Yeah, we're proud of our athletics, but you know, we're equally as proud of a lot of the academic efforts we got going on. If you haven't heard, we did receive the Governor's Cup this year, which was a great award for the school, increase in SAT scores. We also received an award from Standard & Poor's. What we did was close the achievement gap, and according to some of their criteria, we closed that gap, and we're real excited about that. We're looking at increase in AP numbers next year as we did last year. So a lot of great things going on. I think the staff that's come on from the beginning, starting the school, until the staff that we have right now, you know, some of the combined efforts that we've had is just really taken off, and I'm real proud of everybody, staff, students included.
Okay, let's talk about what it's like to have a program from the ground up. And when you have everything going on from the ground up, what's it been like to have this baby get to this particular point?
Well, it's very exciting for us because we put in a lot of time and energy over the last 4 years to get to this point. It wasn't easy by any stretch of the imagination. Our coaches have worked extremely hard. Our student athletes have been absolutely phenomenal in following our lead and doing the things that we asked them to do, and shown just great leadership throughout. So it's been a fun experience.
AD Bill Holloman, thanks for your time. Dr. Stephen Flint, thanks for your time as well. Let's send it back upstairs. One band down, one to go.
Thank you, John. 14-3 at the intermission. It's the Hornets of Roswell High leading the Lions of Peachtree Ridge High. We'll be back with more halftime entertainment from Cantrell Stadium. 5A championships, GPB.
In 1856, 1,200 immigrants were stranded on the high plains of Wyoming. More than 100 wagon teams from Salt Lake City raced to save them in one of the greatest acts of heroism in 19th century America.
Monday at 9 on Georgia Public Broadcasting.
Broadcast of this program is made possible in part by the following.
Wachovia helps our customers stay informed about important issues by supporting GPB. We see it as an essential part of our commitment to serve our growing state. With hundreds of financial centers and ATMs in Georgia, Wachovia can help you realize your financial goals.
We didn't know how soon the Japanese would attack.
To protect the homeland, they moved mountains.
1,500 miles of road in 8 months.
They were saving North America, building the Alaska Highway on American Experience.
Monday at 10 on Georgia Public Broadcasting.
Support for programming is provided in part by the following.
Honor, integrity, determination, the traits of a winner, the definition of our philosophy. As a proud sponsor of the Georgia High School Association, Georgia's electric membership corporations are committed through local ownership and service to providing reliable electricity to better serve not only our communities, but the athletes within them. Georgia's electric membership corporations, lighting the way.
Next time on Nova, E equals MC squared. It's the world's most famous equation, but do you know what it really means?
I have completely solved the problem.
Einstein's big idea.
Tuesday at 8 on Georgia Public Broadcasting.
Next time,
you cannot walk down the street without being bombarded.
They call it a clutter crisis.
Consumers are like roaches. You spray them, and after a while, it doesn't work anymore.
What are advertisers doing to break through?
Ooh, I love it.
The Persuaders. Watch Frontline.
Tuesday at 10 on Georgia Public Broadcasting. This is Georgia Public Broadcasting, your PBS station.
Back live at Cantrell Stadium at the intermission. Roswell leading at 14-3 over the Lions of Peachtree Ridge. Right now, the Roswell Band, winners of the Silver Division at the Band Masters Championship this past year, performing here for the fans. Show titled Dante's Journey. 86 members of the Roswell Band. Let's go down and take a listen. Roswell Band concluding performance. Jim Ginocchio down at sideline. Jimmy.
Hi, thank you, Charlie. I'm here with two special guys from Roswell, the principal of Roswell High School, Dr. Edward Sparker. Thank you for joining us here at the half. And also the president of the Touchdown Club, John Mattiola. And John, we'll start with you. It's got to be fun, first of all, supporting Roswell sports in Roswell, Georgia.
It's a ton of fun. Obviously, Jim, what we've achieved this season and this postseason is beyond description. The community has come out for us big time, and it's extra special when it's not really expected.
This was supposed to be a rebuilding year. You weren't supposed to be here yet, right?
Well, the junior class of this year's team has lost 3 games since 5th grade. So it was a rebuilding year in that we lost a lot of seniors from last year, but we had a heck of a core.
You guys started that feeder program back in '93, and it really started to help, didn't it?
We're looking kind of smart. I wish I was here to take credit for that, but it's, yeah, I mean, we've had, I don't know how many Junior Hornet championships, and it's really helped as these kids have risen up.
Great. Thank you, John. Appreciate you joining us. Meantime, Dr. Edward Sparker, you know, you guys, incredible run this season. You guys have surprised a lot of people in 5A this year, and I would imagine that this week, the championship week, had been an exciting time for you and the school in getting prepared for this.
You know, Jim, tonight's been outstanding. First, I have to congratulate Peachtree Ridge on a great first half, but also an outstanding season, making it to the finals in their first 4 years. Pretty amazing. This week's been a pretty incredible week for Roswell High School. It's been 36 years since we've been to the finals, but it doesn't happen by accident. We got a lot of hard work from our staff and our students. They stayed focused with, we have final exams next week. They stayed focused till about Thursday. Yesterday was a tough day for us getting ready for this big game, but a lot of thanks goes out to our Board of Education. Superintendent James Wilson couldn't do it without him, Bob Lynch, area superintendent, and all the fans at Roswell. And I think we brought almost the whole city of Roswell here with us. And say hi to all the fans that are home watching us from their TVs.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for joining us at halftime, and good luck in the second half.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, let's go back upstairs to Charlie. Charlie?
Thanks, Jim. First half highlights from Cantrell Stadium. The Hornets of Roswell get on the board first after this phenomenal 26-yard run for a touchdown by Alex Daniel. But the Lions came back. 42-yard field goal by Drew Butler. It was a 7-3 lead for the Hornets at that point. But the Hornets wanted more. They went up top to get it. And Dustin Tolliver found Garrett Emery behind the secondary. Emery scooting 83 yards on the touchdown. And the Hornets with a 14-3 lead at the intermission. First half highlights concluded with the stats from that first half, Mark. Time of possession fairly even. Total yards is kind of where it stands out more favorably for the Hornets.
Give credit, though, to Roswell being able to run the ball, the rushing yard advantage, 88 yards to 26 for Peachtree Ridge.
Penalties even in that first half. The Hornets with that one turnover. Tolliver, 9 of 13, 116 yards in the first half for the Hornets of Roswell. Teams getting ready to start the second half. 2 quarters left to determine 5A champ state of Georgia. We'll step aside for a timeout. We'll get you started in the third. 5A championships on GPB. Back with more.
The world-renowned Mormon Tabernacle Choir and Orchestra at Temple Square celebrate the holiday season with a special concert featuring America's beloved soprano, Renee Fleming.
Wednesday at 8 on Georgia Public Broadcasting.
Broadcast of this program is made possible in part by the following.
International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 613, has served Georgia business for 80 years without a work stoppage. Our bonded workers are skilled, drug-free, and get the job done on budget and on time. IBEW is putting families to work in Georgia.
Their faces are nearly 2,000 years old. A mother and her son. Travel around the world and discover why the images of Jesus and Mary both intrigue us and inspire us even today. The Face, Jesus in Art, and Picturing Mary. Wednesday, beginning at 9 on GPB.
Support for programming is provided in part by the following.
Enthusiasm,
competition,
teamwork,
celebration.
These are just a few of the attributes Wachovia shares with the outstanding young men and women competing in the Georgia High School Association Boys and Girls Championships.
And that's why Wachovia Bank proudly supports the GHSA Boys and Girls Championships on Georgia Public Broadcasting.
With hundreds of financial centers and ATMs in Georgia, Wachovia is a proud community partner.
Sunday night will be music to your ears with 3 music specials on GPB. First at 7, it's Celtic Woman, A New Journey. Then at 9, Chris Bodie Live. And finally at 10:30, He Touched Me, the gospel music of Elvis. It all begins Sunday night at 7 on GPB.
This is Georgia Public Broadcasting, your PBS station.
Before we start the third quarter, let's go down sideline. John Nelson with Coach Armstrong. Nelly. Masters Championship this past year, performing here for the fans. Show titled Dante's Journey, 86 members of the Roswell Band. Let's go down and take a listen. Roswell Band concluding performance. Jim Ginocchio down at sideline. Jimmy.
All right, thank you, Charlie. I'm here with two special guys from Roswell, the principal of Roswell High School, Dr. Edward Sparker. Thank you for joining us here at the half. And also the president of the Touchdown Club, John Mattiola. And John, we'll start with you. It's got to be fun, first of all, supporting Roswell sports in Roswell, Georgia.
It's a ton of fun. Obviously, Jim, what we've achieved this season and this postseason is beyond description. The community has come out for us big time, and it's extra special when it's not really expected.
This was supposed to be a rebuilding year. You weren't supposed to be here yet, right?
Well, the junior class of this year's team has lost 3 games since 5th grade. So it was a rebuilding year in that we lost a lot of seniors from last year, but we had a heck of a core.
You guys started that feeder program back in '93, and it really started to help, didn't it?
We're looking kind of smart. I wish I was here to take credit for that, but it's, yeah, I mean, we've had, I don't know how many Junior Hornet championships, and it's really helped as these kids have risen up.
Great. Thank you, John. Appreciate you joining us. Meantime, Dr. Edward Sparker, you know, you guys, incredible run this season. You guys have surprised a lot of people in 5A this year, and I would imagine that this week, the championship week, had been an exciting time for you and the school in getting prepared for this.
You know, Jim, tonight's been outstanding. First, I have to congratulate Peachtree Ridge on a great first half, but also an outstanding season, making it to the finals in their first 4 years. Pretty amazing. This week's been a pretty incredible week for Roswell High School. It's been 36 years since we've been to the finals, but it doesn't happen by accident. We got a lot of hard work from our staff and our students. They stayed focused with, we have final exams next week. They stayed focused till about Thursday. Yesterday was a tough day for us getting ready for this big game, but a lot of thanks goes out to our Board of Education. Superintendent James Wilson couldn't do it without him, Bob Lynch, area superintendent, and all the fans at Roswell. And I think we brought almost the whole city of Roswell here with us, and say hi to all the fans that are home watching us from their TVs.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for joining us at halftime, and good luck in the second half.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, let's go back upstairs to Charlie. Charlie?
Thanks, Jim. First half highlights from Cantrell Stadium. The Hornets of Roswell get on the board first after this phenomenal 26-yard run for a touchdown by Alex Daniel. But the Lions came back. 42-yard field goal by Drew Butler. It was a 7-3 lead for the Hornets at that point. But the Hornets wanted more. They went up top to get it. And Dustin Tolliver found Garrett Emery behind the secondary. Emery scooting 83 yards on the touchdown. And the Hornets with a 14-3 lead at the intermission. First half highlights concluded with the stats from that first half, Mark. Time of possession fairly even. Total yards is kind of where it stands out more favorably for the Hornets.
Give credit, though, to Roswell being able to run the ball, the rushing yard advantage, 88 yards to 26 for Peachtree Ridge.
Penalties even in that first half. The Hornets with that one turnover. Tolliver, 9 of 13, 116 yards in the first half for the Hornets of Roswell. Teams getting ready to start the second half. 2 quarters left to determine 5A champ state of Georgia. We'll step aside for a timeout. We'll get you started in the third. 5A championships on GPB. Back with more.
The world-renowned Mormon Tabernacle Choir and Orchestra at Temple Square celebrate the holiday season with a special concert featuring America's beloved soprano, Lene Fleming.
Wednesday at 8 on Georgia Public Broadcasting.
Broadcast of this program is made possible in part by the following.
International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 613, has served Georgia business for 80 years without a work stoppage. Our bonded workers are skilled, drug-free, and get the job done on budget and on time. IBEW is putting families to work in Georgia.
Their faces are nearly 2,000 years old. A mother and her son. Travel around the world and discover why the images of Jesus and Mary both intrigue us and inspire us even today. The Face, Jesus in Art, and Picturing Mary. Wednesday, beginning at 9 on GPB.
Support for programming is provided in part by the following.
Enthusiasm,
competition,
teamwork, celebration. These are just a few of the attributes Wachovia shares with the outstanding young men and women competing in the Georgia High School Association Boys and Girls Championships.
And that's why Wachovia Bank proudly supports the GHSA Boys and Girls Championships on Georgia Public Broadcasting.
With hundreds of financial centers and ATMs in Georgia, Wachovia is a proud community partner.
Sunday night will be music to your ears with 3 music specials on GPB. First at 7, it's Celtic Woman, A New Journey. Then at 9, Chris Bodie Live. And finally at 10:30, He Touched Me, the gospel music of Elvis. It all begins Sunday night at 7 on GPB.
This is Georgia Public Broadcasting, your PBS station.
Before we start the third quarter, let's go down sideline. John Nelson with Coach Armstrong. Nelly.
Thanks here with the coach. Big plays got to you in the first half.
Yeah, you can't give up those kind of plays, and I mean, we've got to make some plays like we've got to make some big plays, and we're going to come out of the second half, probably stay with our spread game, and open it up a little bit.
Now, offensively, you just talked about that, and they're double teaming Cameron a lot.
Well, we've seen that all year long. They're always going to try to double team him. I told him he's just got to get rid of him. When he realizes it's not run anymore, get rid of him, get loose, and go attack the passer.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Then back upstairs.
Thanks, John. Lions trying to become the youngest state finalist in 27 years in the state of Georgia, trying to go one step further and win their first state title. Leonard will stand deep for the Hornets of Roswell as Butler will kick it away for Peachtree Ridge. We get set to go in the third quarter. Hornets of Roswell leading at 14-3. Third quarter underway. Leonard will have a return, fills it at the 5, up to the 15, left side 20. There's some room there. At the 30, at the 40. Only Butler to beat. Butler pushes him out of bounds near the 42-yard line. So the Hornets with good field position to start this initial drive, third quarter.
And give a gold star to Reed Sir, number 22 for Roswell, for one of the blocks at about the 20-yard line that allowed the big return.
Oliver in the first half, 9 of 13, 116 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. Solid performance for Tolliver first half. 83-yard touchdown strike to end a part of it. First and 10. On the ground, it's Daniel. Daniel hit from behind, but inside of Lion territory near the 48. Kroll got the hit on him. But a 5-yard pickup, perhaps 6 on the carry by Daniel.
The lead blocker, number 44, Brett Robertson for Roswell, only lined up about 3 yards behind the quarterback. Got an excellent block in right at the middle of the field and allowed his running back to pick up a huge gain on first down. Now, I say huge in a relative term because anytime you can pick up 5 yards, 4 or 5 or more, that's a good gain on first down.
Any coach will take that. Sets up a nice second down situation. Here, 2nd and 5 for the Hornets. Daniels left side again, this time popped at the line of scrimmage. Aaron Blue in on the stop for Peachtree Ridge.
With the difficulty of Cameron Hayward working through the double team, Blue was one of the defensive linemen we talked about in the first half. Charles will really have to step up his play. He comes into the playoffs with 10 sacks and 74 tackles.
Third down and 4 for the Hornets. At the 47 of the Lions of Peachtree Ridge. Tolliver, short roll right side. Raises, fires, got a man there. Catch by Vidal near the 40-yard line. That's enough for the Hornet first down.
At the end of that play, a little bit of a discussion where the ball will be spotted as Vidal made the reception and was circling back towards the line of scrimmage.
Looks like the mark is going to be near the 44-yard line, and that will put the Hornets about a yard shy of the first down.
The entire Roswell sideline was not happy with the spot as you get another look at P.J. Vidal and the hit provided by Derek Bryant up Peachtree Ridge.
He got a knock on him, and the knock forced his momentum back. But he was still trying to come a bit forward after that. That's why the mark results exactly where it is.
They're going to bring the chains over as Tim McFarland on the Roswell sideline just simply shook his head.
10:04 remains third quarter.
It's a bit early in the second half to say this is an important measurement, but this is an important measurement.
Coach Armstrong knows that.
And they're going to mark the ball shy of the first down. It's about a yard shy, Charles, according to where the finger is holding the chain.
See the distance required now for the Hornets. It'll be 4th down, less than a yard.
Tim McFarland knows and understands that ball possession on this first drive is very important.
They will go for it at the 49 of the Lions. Just like the mark was important, this 4th down play is as well. Tolliver. Movement up front, and the Hornets got what they wanted. The Lions trying to anticipate. Jumped in the neutral zone. Tripp and Hayward got in there. That'll give the Hornets the first down by the penalty.
At least 3 players on the Peachtree Ridge defensive front, complemented by linebackers that were trying to fill those gaps, jumped on the last snap count.
Dead ball foul, encroachment, defense, first down.
So the Hornets up to the 39-yard line of the Lions. Hard count by Tolliver drew them in. 1st and 10. Daniels, left side. Spins his way, may have gotten 2 yards on that carry. Hayward on the stop for the Lions.
Michael Davidson of Peachtree Ridge, wearing number 5. He's a linebacker playing very close to the line of scrimmage. They're trying to load up inside the box Peachtree Ridge with about 7 players drawing their linebackers only about 2 yards off the line of scrimmage.
2nd down play coming here for the Hornets. This is the first possession of the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 6. Tolliver short drop, pumps once, going back up top. Got a man on the separation pass, overthrown though, intended for Macerio near the 5-yard line.
Roswell does an excellent job of running combination routes. The Clario actually had the second part of that deep pattern as Roswell brought a short receiver into the zone at about the 20-yard line. The Clario just a bit overthrown to his outside shoulder.
Make it 3rd down now for the Hornets. From the 36. On the draw play, Daniels at the line of scrimmage. Trey Tripp in on the stop for the Lions. Tripp with a fine performance in the semifinals, continuing it tonight. Good stop on Alex Daniel. 8:45 and clock running here in the 3rd quarter. As Broadway will come on now for the Hornets to punt it away. Nobody back for the Lions. Lions may see if the Hornets punt it away. Hornets thought they may try to draw him offside, but a high kick for the sideline.
High and short.
By Broadway. Got a bounce on it inside the 20. And that's where the Lions of Peachtree Ridge will get their first possession of this 2nd half. So the Hornets come away with no points on that possession, but they run a lot of the clock off with 8:13. The Lions with their first chance on offense. Coach Armstrong and the Lions trailing 14-3 earlier today in championship round, the finals in the Class A division. It was Lincoln County under Coach Campbell winning it 21-14 over Clinch County. In the AA, boy, that must have been a good one. Co-champs in the AA division, Dublin and Charlton County. They play it even at 13 apiece. AAA, it was Peach County over Shaw, 28-7. They are the 3A champs. As we come to live action, Graham rolling left side and chased out of bounds near the 22-yard line.
Graham actually had thoughts of hitting Derek Bryant, who was streaking open at about the 45-yard line. If Graham has thoughts of trying to complete the long ball, he may want to think about getting his feet set a little bit better than he did in the first half. He did an excellent job of completing the short pattern off the wrong foot, but he's going to have to set to deliver the ball deeper. 2nd
down and 9. Shotgun for Graham. Graham in the pocket. Fires, got a man on the crossing route, but threw it behind him. Intended for Foley, but the pass thrown behind Foley at the 35 would have been enough for the Peachtree Ridge first down.
Excellent job of coverage by number 5, Quentin Franklin of Roswell, who was only about 2 yards off the receiver. Looked from behind the center at the pass, just a bit outside.
Good defensive coverage by the Hornets, but that forced Graham to throw that football slightly behind. Shotgun on the third down play. Graham will roll it right side. Makes the containment, still rolling, fires it out there. What a catch outside by Bryant. Bryant kind of reaching behind and laying out at the same time. Grabs it for the Lion first down.
Talk about the ability to field pressure. Graham rolled to the left, had pursuit from behind him, and delivered the ball at precisely the right time. You'll see number 10 roll to the right, cut inside for a bit, and then deliver the pass to the sideline for the great catch.
Derek Bryant having to come from behind to grab that football. Great concentration. 1st and 10 for the Lions. Pitch pass out in the flat. Haynes took his eye off it. Goes incomplete.
Sean Foley of Peachtree Ridge was working against number 47, Sean Chastain, the linebacker. Actually had an excellent angle on the block. The bad news for Peachtree Ridge, the pass into the flat was just dropped.
2nd down and 10. 7:33 remains, 3rd. Graham from the shotgun with the football. Here comes the pressure. Fires across the middle. Catch by Foley. Foley near the 46-yard line. Be about a yard shy of the first down marker.
Foley did an excellent job of using his body to shield the defender from the pattern. And Graham delivers it right on the money. As you can see, the delivery, the sidearm. And the defender for Roswell, Ben Allen, coming in with the hit.
And Lion offensive attack looks so good when they're in sequence, and right now they are. 3rd down and a yard for the first. Graham, sharp hit. Haynes with the catch in the flats. Walks it inside of Hornet territory. Flag coming in at the 50-yard line. Haynes finally pushed out of bounds near the 35.
Multiple flags on the sideline as Sidney Haynes goes into the Roswell bench.
We had a flag prior to that near the 50. But after the play, Haynes on the Hornets sideline and a flag coming in there. So the officials with a lot to sort out. Catch was enough for the first down, but the flags will impact that.
Graham trying to gather his offensive unit back at around the 45. The officials talking on the near sideline right in front of the Roswell bench.
It's just a little hitch pass out in the flats to Haynes.
I'm more curious, Charles, what the first flag was, because my initial thought is that it might be a hold that's also in a spot where you can sometimes get a face mask call.
We'll get a call here momentarily.
The only reason I mentioned face mask is because Haynes was spinning out of contact. A lot of action on that last play.
6:47 left in the third. Indication going against the Lions. Holding. It's the initial call. So you're right on that, Mark. It was a hold against the Lions initially. Looks like it was one of the wide receivers holding the defensive back, trying to create a little more running room for Haynes.
We have a live ball foul, holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Danny Westbrook sorting it out. And that'll push the football back to the 38-yard line.
The question is whether they tack on the sideline call after this call.
We have a dead ball foul, personal foul on the defense, 15-yard penalty.
Wow. That's a 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Now they go back the other way.
On occasion,
dead ball foul, personal foul on the offense, 15-yard penalty.
Well, let's sort it out. Haynes was being driven out of bounds into the Roswell bench. And as you know, Charles, sometimes players that are standing on the sideline, they don't necessarily move out of the way. And so Haynes didn't take kindly to being contacted on the sideline of Roswell and actually fought back. And so that's why you have the multiple dead ball foul on the action on the sideline.
So they moved the football 3 times and we're back at the 37-yard line. 3rd down for the Lions of Peachtree Ridge. Graham shotgun as play resumes. With the snap. Short roll right side. Now flicks it upfield. This one's going to be picked off. Emery's got the pick for the Hornets. Garrett Emery on the 82-yard touchdown pass first half. Now with a defensive charm here for the Hornets on the pick of Graham.
Sidney Haynes went into the pattern from a slot position in motion, turned and had to turn defensive back.
14-3, Hornets lead it, and they get the football back after this quick timeout.
Funding for this program is provided by the Georgia High School Association. The GHSA would like to thank Verizon Wireless for the outstanding support of high school sports programming on GPB.
Hello, I'm Ralph Swearingen. More than 163,000 Georgia students compete in high school sports, and nearly 84,000 participate in GHSA non-athletic competition. These sports and activities enrich educational experiences. On behalf of Verizon Wireless and the GHSA, thank you for your support.
6 minutes, 38 seconds remaining, 3rd quarter. Hornets of Roswell leading at 14-3 over the Lions of Peachtree Ridge. Big interception by Garrett Emery, and Roswell with the football at the 42-yard line of the Lions.
The pressure squarely now, Charles, on the defense of Peachtree Ridge in their own territory from the 42.
Garrett Emery, the junior, with the pick, and the Hornets back on offense now. The junior quarterback, Dustin Tolliver, under center. On the delayed handoff, Daniels has it and hit at the line of scrimmage, falls ahead for about a yard.
The thing you love about Daniels is he's a very decisive runner. Once he took the handoff and saw nothing in the middle of the field, made an excellent job, cut instantly to the outside, and then got his shoulder pads square and picked up what he could.
Aaron Blue on the stop for the Lions of Peachtree Ridge. Flag on that play, Mark.
What we got here? We have an illegal formation on the offense. The penalty is declined. 2nd down.
So the Lions decline the penalty. It'll be 2nd down. 2nd down and 9 for the Hornets. Good look at Michael Davison, the linebacker for the Lions. Play fake in the line. Tolliver's got pressure. They flush him right side. At the sideline, bumped out of bounds near the 44-yard line. Breland Trahan pushed him out. Loss of about 2 on the play.
You're being nice about that one because Trahan was coming down the sideline, had the quarterback Tolliver measured right at about the 42, lowered the shoulder at just the right time to not pick up a flag.
So that'll make it 3rd down and 12 for the Hornets. Clario and Tolliver back into the huddle.
Roswell has had some success throwing to the slot receiver.
Daniel will be a lone setback. Trip receivers, bottom of your screen. Fake handoff. Pressure. Tolliver raises, fires, got a man out in the flats. Catch is made by Goins, and Goins got enough, looks like, for that Hornet first down.
Talk about this team's ability to spread the ball around. I would say that from the names that you've called out so far, Goins has got to be the 6th receiver that has caught a ball from Tolliver on the roll, improvising to the sideline in the short flat for the first down.
Tolliver just releasing that football with enough time to get it out there and avoid the tackler. And Goins with the run after catch. And the Hornets back in business with a new fresh set of downs. At the 29-yard line, total yards thus far, Roswell over 200 at 230. On the ground, it's Goins this time. Hit immediately, may have gotten a yard.
P.J. Bidell on the last play for Roswell signaled his quarterback from the slot position. They have a series of hand signals that they'll use, and then he turned to his quarterback after the play, disappointed that he didn't get picked up in that slot position.
5:36 and clock running in the third. Hornets vying for their 3rd state championship, winners in 68 and 70. 2nd down and 9. Bidell in motion. Short drop, Tolliver. Scrambles right side. Lofts it up in the air. Pass going to be intercepted. Good defensive work by the Lions. Picked off by Philip Davis, and Davis has got his 2nd pick of the ball game. Pass is intended for McClario in the end zone.
McClario running a deep corner route at about the 3-yard line. Had separation for just a hair, but give credit to the defensive back for Peachtree Ridge, Davis, for making an excellent break on the ball. Had a lot of arc on it and making the interception before going out of bounds.
Over the shoulder interception by Philip Davis. And the Lions will get the football back. They'll be pent in their own territory deep, but they'll take that. 2nd pick of the night for Davis, leading interception player for the Lions of Peachtree Ridge. From the 2, Davis hops. Lost the football down near the 6-yard line. Hornets say that they have it. Officials agree. Quentin Franklin got in and covered it for the Hornets. So the Hornets go back in and take what was stolen from them by the Lions.
Zach Graham is 6'5". On the last handoff, it seems the way he came away from center just a bit low. Delivered the ball. Running back was not able to cover up. Watch the handoff by Graham, almost to the knee. Kicked out and fumbled.
Dustin Gibbs, they were trying to get it into his hands. Never actually got his arms around it. So the Hornets now, 1st and goal to go as the teams draw even in terms of turnovers, 2 apiece. Peachtree Ridge just had it. 1 play after the interception by Davis. And now the Hornets down at the 6. Timeout taken by Roswell. Hornets leading it 14-3.
Thinking back on that last play, sometimes a low handoff like that can be actually kicked out by one of the thigh pads of the receiving or the running back trying to take the handoff.
This game can also be viewed live on the GPB internet site around the world at www.gpb.org. Just follow the links to connect to the game. Every game will be archived and available later on the GPB website as well. That's www.gpb.org. The Hornets, 1st and goal to go, trying to extend their lead. Hornets, their first playoff appearance in 1956. Right now, Coach McFarland more concerned about this 2006 appearance.
Number 4 is Alex Daniels. He's dotting the wishbone.
Tolliver on the ground. Daniels spins inside the 5. Hayward on the stop for the Lions.
First time this evening, Roswell's actually shown the wishbone. 2 blocking backs in front of Daniels.
Talk about the Hornets appearing in the playoffs in 1956 for the first time. Interesting storyline behind that. If we get a chance, perhaps Jim Giannacchio can bring us up to date on that. 4:38 and clock running in the third. Second and goal to go. Pardon me, Mark.
Now the lone back.
Tolliver. He'll take the drop. Here comes the pressure. He eludes, though. Back of the end zone, threw it out of bounds. Wisely done. Had a lot of pressure on him and throws it through the back of the end zone.
Tran came on the blitz right up the middle, untouched, and fortunate for Roswell, that play didn't have more damage to it.
Intended for Ned's Wiki, or at least he was the closest Hornet at the back of the end zone. Third and goal to go now for the Hornets. Roswell.
Credit Tolliver for seeing the pressure and just throwing the ball through the end zone, not risking an interception.
.4:16 remaining third quarter. Hornets want another score. Daniel, lone setback behind Tolliver. Vidal in motion now stops. Tolliver, short drop, pressure coming. Got a man, that's over the head of Embry, intended for Embry out in the flats. Coverage by Sanders. Embry had the separation, that just could not connect on the route.
Really, Trahan came once again on the blitz, was picked up effectively by Alex Daniel, the running back.
So Broadway will come on now to try the field goal for Roswell. A 21-yard effort by Jim Broadway. Broadway has been busy tonight. Flag coming in at the line of scrimmage. Referee Westbrook stepping in. Offsides called against the Lions of Peachtree Ridge. That'll take them half the distance.
Dead ball foul, encroachment, defense. The penalty is declined. Still 4th down.
So it's declined by the Hornets. And it'll still be a 21-yard effort by Jim Broadway. Broadway got it airborne. Did he get it through? No, he doesn't. Kicked it way left. And the Lions have avoided with a situation would have really been detrimental to him had they gotten the 3 there. But Broadway misses on the field goal attempt. 21 yards out. And it remains 14-3. Hornets with the lead. Let's go down to field level to Jim Giannacchio. Jim, let's kind of pick that storyline up.
Charlie, you know, you mentioned earlier about the 1956 and the Roswell team. Well, you remember the Titans, the movie, back in 1956, Roswell's first playoff game. They played it in Covington. The head coach at the time was Bill Yost. Now, Bill Yost went to be an assistant coach for Herman Boone, and Boone was the head coach of the Titans from, remember the movie, The Titans. And, of course, Denzel Washington was an actor in that movie, and that was shot in Covington. So there's your movie trivia on Remember the Titans. Back upstairs to Charlie.
How well we remember it. Thanks for the story, Jim. It was King on the carry for the Lions. The pass reception going to King. King, pickup of 6 on that reception. So Roswell with a very storied history in terms of their program. As Graham and the Lions have it on offense, shotgun on this second down play. Upfield, he fires pass intended for Haynes. Hot pass from Graham and incomplete.
Haynes also had double coverage. Zach Waddell, one of the defensive backs, very close to that ball for Roswell in coverage.
Make it 3rd down and 4. Lions go without the huddle.
Stack formation to the right for Peachtree Ridge.
Under 4 minutes remaining, 3rd quarter now. King in motion. Snap to Graham. Here comes the pressure. They flush him right side. Still rolling. Got a man, threw it short, and intercepted. Ben Allen picks it off and will check the flag out near the 35-yard line. Was trying to get it downfield to Brandon Davis, but underthrew the pass.
We've seen Zach Graham throw on the run. Recent passes have just not been accurate, throwing to the sideline about 20 yards deep and across the field.
Football belongs to the Hornets. The interception will stand. Check out the flag at the 35-yard line. So Graham scrambling right side. Lofted that one, left it way short of the receiver.
It looks like an innocent throw from up here, Charles, but if you're going to throw that ball 20 yards downfield and to the sideline, you better put some heat on it because it allows the defensive backs to recover and make a play on the ball.
We have an ineligible receiver downfield on the offense. The penalty is declined. We have an interception. First down.
Ben Allen, the sophomore for the Hornets, comes away with the interception. So Roswell from their own 49 back on offense. Slot to his right, bottom of the screen. Daniel with the football. Past the 45, bangs ahead near the 42. Kroll on the stop for the Lions of Peachtree Ridge.
Give credit to Roswell for asserting the personality of its running game in this ball game. They've gotten Daniel considerable yardage in the middle of the field. You can expect they'll try to run him inside the hash marks.
Pick up the 5 by Daniel on the previous play. Make it 2nd and 5. Daniel again. Hit at the 40-yard line. Squirms ahead for maybe 2 on the play. Aaron Blue on their stop for Peachtree Ridge. Blue with a fine night thus far for the Lions. Been very busy.
You talk about the balance of Roswell, Charles. They came into the playoffs. They had 1,963 yards on the ground and 1,641 through the air. Nice balance.
3rd down, 3. Short hit pass out in the flats. Bidell with the catch. He's got enough for the first. Here comes the flag tossed in from the back judge.
Judging by the reaction of Peachtree Ridge, this one is going to be against Roswell.
Just a little hot route to Bidell at the sideline. He runs it for the first down with the flag coming in after the catch. Officials have been fairly busy in this second half of football.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So the assessment pushes the Hornets back to the 43-yard line.
The Peachtree Ridge defense trying to get support from its fans on the far side. This is a 3rd and 7.
Roswell with his 5th penalty. Peachtree Ridge with 6 on the night. Play fake going to draw. Tolliver with pressure. They got him at the sideline, but he unloads it. Short side of the field. The pressure was heavy by the Lions. Tolliver was able to throw the pass upfield, though. It goes incomplete.
Dustin Gibbs did a great job for Peachtree Ridge providing pressure on that last roll to the sideline by Tolliver, trying to find someone open. Credit the defensive backs for Peachtree Ridge. Excellent coverage downfield.
Broadway on now to punt it. Simpson stands deep. Broadway with the kick. It'll come down to Simpson. Simpson near the 12, wrapped up at the 13-yard line. Emery on the stop for the Hornets.
The 2nd consecutive drive that Peachtree Ridge starts deep in their own territory.
The possession game in terms of field really favors the Hornets. Less than 2 minutes remaining, third quarter. Graham threw interception on the previous possession. Rolling right side. First and 10. Whistles, flags at the line of scrimmage.
Zach Graham came out with both of his ankles taped over the shoe, giving him the spattered effect. Now he has one of the shoes, seems to have removed it, taken the tape off. Sometimes you can tape those shoes a bit too tight. So Graham now has one shoe spattered, the right, and one, the left foot, with just the shoe.
It will go against the Lions. Back them up 5.
Dead ball foul, encroachment on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So they get hit with a penalty to start this drive. First and 15. Graham pitches. Davis looking for room. Turned in over end near the 8.
And just to complete that thought, Charles, you know why players started to tape over their shoes? Because originally, before the days of the gauze tape, players would tape their ankles directly on the skin. It was okay until after the game when you had to remove that tape. And if you had hairy legs, it wasn't a pretty sight.
Graham's tape job with 1:20 left in this third quarter. From the shotgun. He'll keep it this time. Graham back to the 20, to the 25-yard line, up near the 27. He's got enough for the Lion first down. Okapu on the stop for the Hornets.
As we noted last week in the Dome, Graham carries the ball awfully loose in one hand. When he turns running back, he did the smart thing at the end of that play, covered up with both hands right before he felt contact.
Graham on this 18-yard carry. This play has been there for him all night long. He's just elected to try to throw the football upfield instead. Picked up 18 on that one. First and 10. Snap to Graham again. Here comes the pressure. Now he unloads downfield. Got 2 receivers there. Nicely done by Bryant with the catch to the 35-yard line. Flag, though, at the 16-yard line.
One of the few times Zach Graham steps up and delivers a ball in perfect form, makes the completion, but the flag, as you mentioned, all the way back at about the 16-yard line.
The Lions are indicating it's going against the Hornets, but we'll wait for something official. As Derek Bryant with a great catch downfield.
Note the form on Graham with the delivery accurately downfield.
Roughing the passer here.
So it was roughing the passer against Graham, but obviously the Lions are going to take this play. 42.5 seconds remains, third quarter. They go up top and get a big one.
The passer on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
Boy, what a help there for the Lions. Not only do they get that pass reception downfield to Bryant, but they get it tacked on the penalty afterwards. So that will push them just inside the red zone. Graham under center. Pitches right side Davis. Here comes the pursuit by the Hornets. They sling him down at the 25. Okapu on the surge for the Hornets. Got the stop on Davis.
Talk about a linebacker reading and reacting. Okapu read all the way and then had the speed to close. The running back speed, watch number 2, to make the hit for a loss.
So the Hornets with a good defensive stop. And the Lions over at the sideline electing to take this game into the fourth quarter before they'll take another snap.
Okapu entered this playoff sequence with 68 tackles, 4 for loss.
14-3, the Hornets of Roswell clinging to the lead, but the Lions of Peachtree Ridge threatening as we get set to go into the fourth quarter. Quick timeout. We'll come back to bring you the final quarter from Cantrell Stadium 5A Championships on GPB.
This is Celtic Woman, their new show on PBS. Celtic Woman, A New Journey, filmed at Slane Castle in Ireland. Don't miss this spectacular concert. Celtic Woman, A New Journey.
Sunday at 7 on Georgia Public Broadcasting.
Broadcast of this program is made possible in part by the following.
The Mabel Reader Foundation.
As a proud sponsor of the Georgia High School Association, Georgia's electric membership corporations provide reliable electricity and service, not only to our communities, but to the athletes within them. Georgia's electric membership corporations, lighting the way.
Discover the magic of trumpeter Chris Bodie as he's joined by Sting, Gladys Knight, Paula Cole, Burt Bacharach, Jill Scott, and others in Chris Bodie Live with orchestra and special guests.
Sunday at 9 on Georgia Public Broadcasting.
Funding for this program is provided by the Georgia High School Association. The GHSA would like to thank Dodge for the outstanding support of high school sports programming on GPB. Dodge dealerships across Georgia are proud to bring you the exciting action of GHSA Championship Football. As the official vehicle of the GHSA, Dodge salutes the hard work, community spirit, and dedication of these two fine teams. Thanks for tuning into GPB, and please enjoy the rest of the game. Dodge, grab life by the horns.
With fame came an emptiness that only one thing could fill. He was an ordinary kid from Tupelo who became the king of rock and roll. He touched me. The gospel music of Elvis Presley.
Sunday at 10:30 on Georgia Public Broadcasting. This is Georgia Public Broadcasting, your PBS station.
Start of the fourth quarter. Roswell leading at 14-3. Peachtree Ridge down at the 25 of the Hornets. Graham, shotgun with the snap. Here comes the pressure. Unloads on a crossing route. King threw it slightly behind. King not able to hang on.
Roswell only lined up 3 down linemen with incredibly wide splits on that last play, Charles. The linebackers really dropping into pass coverage before the snap of the ball.
Graham had what he wanted there. King was open. 3rd down and 11 for Peachtree Ridge. Good shot at Quentin Franklin, the senior defensive back for the Lions, or the Hornets. As Graham, quarterback for the Lions, shotgun with the snap, pressure at the corners. They force him up. Now he raises, flutters it out there and out of bounds near the 10-yard line. Good pressure up front by the Hornets of Roswell. That'll make it 4th down. Football at the 25-yard line. Drew Butler on now.
Give credit to Justin Bird, number 79 for Roswell, providing pressure from defensive end position. This will be a 42-yard attempt.
Graham will hold. Butler from 42. Butler got this one up. He's got the distance on it. Did he put it through? Yes, he does. From 42 yards away. The Lions get their 2nd score of the ball game. Comes on a 2nd field goal by Butler. 14-6 your score now. Hornets leading at 11:42 in the 4th quarter. They would have preferred 6, but 3 gives you something coming out of that drive.
3 keeps you close. Now the challenge is to see if Peachtree Ridge's defense can complement the offense and hold Roswell's very potent passing attack.
Capacity crowd here at Cantrell Stadium. Not a lot of people leaving this one. Tight contest. 14-6 to score. Hornets leading it. Glad you're with us on GPB. Charles Ward, Mark Lassiter, Jim Ginocchio, John Nelson, Richard Muster, a spotter up here, and statistician Mike Grimes.
After a beautiful day in the Atlanta metro area where the temperatures hovered around 72 degrees, it started to drop. And on that last sequence, Justin Tolliver was warming up on the sideline trying to keep that arm warm.
7 plays, 63 yards, 4 minutes, 53 seconds. Drive capped off by the 42-yard field goal by Butler. Leonard stands deep for the Hornets. Watson back as well. Butler to kick it. Butler at 6'2", 210, a senior. First team all-conference Gwinnett County. He was voted this past week. Butler with the kick. It'll come down to Leonard near the 3. Leonard to the middle of the field. The 15's got a hold there. Jumps through it at the 20 and put down at the 23-yard line.
Andrew Armour, number 28 for Roswell, threw an excellent block right about the 15-yard line. He's got a football name, Armour.
So Leonard on the return, and the Hornets will start from the 23-yard line. Tolliver to the line of scrimmage. 11:35 left in this 5A championship football game. Bidell in motion to the top of the screen. On the ground, Daniel hits the hole hard near the 26-yard line.
First man there was Britt Kroll, number 55 for Peachtree Ridge.
Daniel, after the carry mark, limping back over to the Hornet sideline.
Really favoring that right knee and ankle that he injured early in this game. See how he got twisted around on the second shot.
Britt Kroll on the stop for the Lions, grabbed him on that already ailing leg, the left one. And Daniel back to that sideline again. 2nd down and 7 for the Hornets. Tolliver, play fake, pressure. They flush him toward the sideline. He raises, fires it out of bounds. And incomplete.
Closest player to it was number 9, P.J. Bidell of Roswell. And Tolliver just overthrew him to the sideline by about 5 yards, not wanting to risk the interception.
3rd down. A couple of possessions ago, Lions were in this same situation, but the Hornets were able to convert on a 3rd and relatively long situation. Don't want that to happen to them this time if they can prevent it.
Also, the fullback, Brett Robertson for Roswell, number 44, just came limping off the field. So they've lost 2 key players from that backfield.
3rd and 7. Tolliver. Play fakes, rolling, right side. Can he break the containment? Yes, he does. At the sideline. Now he'll try to tuck it and run for the 1st down. Angles back, close to the 1st down marker. He may have it from this vantage point. Lions had a couple of cracks at him in the backfield. Kroll and Bryant just not able to grab him.
Tolliver is not that fast, but he's elusive. Looks like they will mark him about a half-yard shy of the 1st down, right at about the 32.5-yard line.
Nice piece of running by Dustin Tolliver for the Hornets.
They're going to bring the chains out just to make certain of the mark and whether or not he had enough for the 1st down.
10:15 remains, 4th quarter. Chain crew getting ready to come on to show us exactly where the spot is. A lot of football and a half. So the Hornets on 4th and short, no question about it. They've got to bring on Broadway to punt this one away. Early in this 4th quarter, leading at 14-6. Simpson and Bryant will backpedal in anticipation of Broadway's punt. They'll snap it. Broadway will kick it. It'll come down and be returned by Bryant. Bryant left side, pushed out of bounds, short side of the field near the 44, perhaps the 45-yard line.
Stephen Peasant for Roswell was the first player down in coverage. Went for the ball fake, but Peasant did an excellent job of recovering and getting in on the tackle after about a 7-yard return.
So the Lions from their 45, under 10 minutes remaining. Lions 11-3, ranked number 4 out of Region 7.
And this is some of the best field position they've had this entire second half.
You're right. Indeed. 1st and 10 from the 45. Shotgun for Graham. With the snap, here comes the pressure. Now he's got some room left side. Raises, fires at the sideline. Passes dropped. Brandon Davis right out there in the flats. Just took his eyes off it.
Also allowed the football to come into his body as opposed to trying to catch it out in front and just cradling the ball. Coaches tell players, don't fight the ball. What you have to do is receive the football. And Davis just allowed the ball to hit his pads.
2nd down now. Graham fakes the pitch. Backside pressure. They're trying to set the screen middle of the field. Bryant's got it. Bryant at the 45-yard line. Nicely executed by the Lions. Should be enough for the 1st down. Kern on the stop to Roswell.
Going to have that 1st down, Charles, as you mentioned, by about a foot if that initial spot is accurate. In fact, that is a 1st down pickup for Peachtree Ridge off the improvisation by the quarterback, Graham.
Ryan at the initial spot of that catch took his eyes off it momentarily, but able to corral it and runs for the 1st down. 45-yard line of the Hornets. 1st and 10 for the Lions. Graham pressure at the corner, but unloads. Catch made by Foley at the 40.
Peachtree Ridge now taking a page out of the Roswell playbook, getting Foley into the short zone in the slot position, wide open, as there was no one on that side of the field for Roswell.
Roswell trying to line it up and go with no huddle. Clock running and 9:05 left in the football game. Second down and 5. King in motion. Top of your screen. Looking that way. Gets the King out in the flats. Got a blocker there. King steps through. Flag coming in as he got it down near the 34. Kern on the stop will check the flag out. Comes in that area where it could be holding.
You may have this hold called against Sidney Haynes trying to get a block downfield at about the 35-yard line. Had his man locked up, but just locked up Okapu a little bit too much.
Haynes trying to push Okapu toward the sideline to create that hole. And in the process, he holds. And right now, that Peachtree Ridge drive is put on hold with the assessment. .843 left in this football game. 5A state championship. Hornets trying to get their 3rd. Peachtree Ridge looking for their 1st.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Still 2nd down.
Give Okapu a Velcro.
2nd one of the night. You're going to use them all in this last one.
If you can get 3 Velcros in one night, you know that defensive players had an excellent game.
2nd down. And 10. Graham under serious check. On the ground, Davis. Straight ahead, dive left side. Got it near the 40, perhaps the 39.
Okapu on the tackle.
Second down and 5 after the carry by Davis. Davis has been relatively contained tonight by that Hornet defense.
Let's get out the yellow highlighter, Charles. A 3rd and 5 from the 40-yard line.
Significant. Graham, short hitch in the flats. Davis got it in his hands. Works his way magically for the 1st down for the Lions.
Give credit to Brandon Davis. 2 things, making the reception and then regaining his balance as the ball was thrown a hair behind him. He really had to regroup and turn his body back upfield enough to get that 1st down. The catch, a little out of balance, gathers, gets upfield.
Davis with a fine catch and run on that play. 1st and 10. Graham, shotgun rolling left side, dumps it out in the flats. Got King out there. King hit at the line of scrimmage. Good defensive work by the Hornets at the sideline. Wheeler and Kern then on the stop.
You can sense Zach Graham getting a little bit more settled now, throwing on the run. But this time, he rolls left, not trying to get too greedy, picks up a short gain, but is able to hit his receivers. He's had an excellent percentage completion rate this evening.
I actually lost a yard on that play. Peachtree was last season passing 98.6 yards per game. Tonight at 176. Playoffs will bring out the best in you. Graham rolling right side. Pressure by the Hornets, and they got it. Curtis Hazelton on the stop of Zach Graham. Chased him down from behind.
Also give credit to Braden Knudsen, the defensive lineman. He's wearing number 52. He came with the outside pressure. Didn't make the tackle, but forced the quarterback back to the middle of the field.
Third down now. Shotgun for Graham and the Lions. Another big play. Slide roll left side. Graham. In and out. Now it's going to try to raise and throw it back the other way. Threw it high, passed the battle around, and Emery breaks it up for the Hornets, intended for Bryant.
You may have another roughing the passing call as Graham, seated at about the 46-yard line, took a shot after that last pass.
Flag comes in after the play. You're right on it, Mark. Graham was thinking run initially, then he stepped back and fired it back across the field.
And it's tough for the Roswell defense because Graham can turn running back from quarterback very quickly. So they're treating him as a running back as he goes back in pass formation. It's a second roughing the passer call.
And that was a big one. That'll give the Lions the first down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. That's a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So first down. Football now down at the 18-yard line. Lions pick a break there. Graham shotgun. And we're at 6 minutes, 18 seconds left. In the pocket. Graham fires underneath. Catch made by Haynes. Haynes hit once, spins, and down near the 8-yard line.
When you take that first hit, there's a tendency to relax. Give credit to Sidney Haynes for holding onto that ball as Roswell was just swarming to the point of attack.
Close to the first down marker on that catch. Graham with a good tight spiral on the pass. And there's the initial hit you were talking about right there.
Ball actually started to come free just a bit. He had to re-grab and cover up before the pressure came from Roswell.
Kern with the jar on the hip of Haynes. Second down, less than a yard for the first. Quick pitch, left side. Davis has got some room. Davis with his head down near the 5-yard line. Boy, what a crunching hit that was. Waddell on the surge by the Hornets, but that's enough for the Lion first.
That's a huge first down for Peachtree Ridge as you get another look at the pitch to the outside and the tremendous run by Brandon Davis.
So with the run, that'll make it 1st and goal to go, and you see Coach Armstrong signaling for the timeout. No miscues can happen for the Lions here. They cannot afford it. Peachtree Ridge, and it's viewers like you that help make great local programs like these high school football games possible on Georgia Public Broadcasting. To show your support, simply visit our website at www.gpb.org. It's totally secure, simple to use, and it takes just 2 minutes. And thank you for supporting Georgia Public Broadcasting. 5:04 remaining in the football game. Mark, 1st and goal to go for the Lions. They got to get 6 here.
And Dustin Tolliver continues to warm up in the bullpen for Roswell right below us. He has a sense that he may get his hands on the ball one more time in this ball game.
Lions of Peachtree Ridge took that timeout. Have had instances where they were deep in Hornet territory, and a couple of miscues and penalties against the offense kind of took them out of a drive. We want to make sure it doesn't happen here.
The favorite receiver is Sidney Haynes. They've been playing together, Zach Graham and Haynes, since the 6th grade.
Shotgun for Graham. Slot is at the bottom of your screen. Graham with the snap, looking that way. He'll try to keep it himself. At the line of scrimmage, spins his way. Did he get in? Graham, touchdown, Lions. Used every inch of the 6'5" frame. He got in. From 6 yards away, Graham scores the touchdown. 4:57 left.
Decision time. Do you want the 2 or do you want the PAT?
Going for the 2 to get us tied at 14.
Here we go.
Timeout taken by the Hornets of Roswell. You alluded to it in the semifinals last weekend. This is push pin time.
Give credit to Zach Graham on that last touchdown run, though, Charles, using every bit of his 6'5", 225-pound frame, the strength to really out-muscle his way all the way into the end zone.
That play was played fairly well at the line by the Hornets. 12 plays on that drive. 5 minutes, 2 seconds elapsed off the clock. 55 yards, and Graham from 6 yards out to cap it. Their first touchdown of the contest. And right now, before taking the opportunity here to go for 2 to see if they can get it tied at 14.
With 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in this ball game, that is a long 3 yards.
Drive nicely executed by the Lions, mostly through the air.
Peachtree Ridge has had success all evening, rolling Graham to the right side.
And don't forget, there was a roughing penalty in there that allowed the Lions to keep that football. So the players back on the field.
They're actually trying to beat Roswell to the line of scrimmage.
Fans on their feet. Graham and the Lions going for 2 to try to get it tied at 14. They fake it, rolling. He's got plenty of room. Graham got the 2-point conversion. 2-point conversion.
Peachtree Ridge rolled Graham off the ball fake to the right corner of the end zone, and he allowed his footwork to do the rest, scoring on a huge 2-point conversion, tying it up at 14-all.
The play fake with the ball helped tremendously. Graham on the bootleg, and we're tied at 14. Had a diving Brandon Davis. The defense went with him. And Graham with the football went the other way.
Garrett Embry went for the ball fake from his defensive back position. He was lined up close to the line of scrimmage, but it was too late because Graham simply had too much speed once he got that head start to the end zone.
My, oh my, what a way to conclude our coverage on GPB. Touchdown run by Graham. That was covered well by the Hornets. Somehow Graham found the seam in there to get that 6 yards and the touchdown for the Lions.
Cantrell Stadium is electric.
Butler to kick. Watson and Leonard stand deep. Leonard will have a return. Squeezes at the 3, at the 15, at the 20. He's got a hole there up near the 27-yard line. Finally caught up with and put down at the 27. Zach Graham scores the touchdown and converts on the 2-point play. And we're tied at 14 in the 5A championship.
After all the grass drills, after all the spring practice, the fall practice, this is where it gets fun. You're 14-14 in the 5A state championships.
Boy, you're talking about lifetime memories. You're in the middle of one right now. Daniel back on the field at running back. He punctuates the I. Vidal in motion up top. Daniel left side fights his way up to the 30-yard line. Hayward on the stop for Peachtree Ridge.
We haven't called his name a lot this evening, but Cameron Hayward is one of those players that makes a statement at a key time on that first down call.
Second down play, 7 yards to go for the first. Pick up a 3 by Daniel.
You can just tell by his body language, he's ready to get it on.
Hayward on the previous stop. From behind the Peachtree Ridge defense. Tolliver with the snap on the ground. It's Daniel again. Daniel works his way up near the 33. Trahan on the stop for the Lions. That'll make it 3rd down and 4.
Hayward did an excellent job of playing off the block of Wes Matij. His coach talked about it. Blair Armstrong said he's just going to have to fight through the double team. And Cameron Armstrong did exactly that on the previous play.
Now the Lions exhorting their fans on a 3rd down play. 3rd and 4 for the Hornets. Play fake. Tolliver gets pressure now at the corner, breaks the containment, but roughed up out of bounds near the 35-yard line, short of the 1st down. Hayward and Trahan at the corner, push him out. Tolliver was trying to run for the 1st. Containment was good by the Lions at the corner.
A few players on the Roswell sideline were trying to get the influence of the referees, but that's a good 2 yards shy. And credit the pursuit of Peachtree Ridge right on the corner.
Broadway on now to kick it. Ryan and Simpson stand deep. It's a fake. Broadway gonna run it right side. He's got enough room for the 1st down. Broadway out of bounds near the 44-yard line. Hornets execute on special teams. They'll keep the football.
Roswell able to get a steal on the right outside. Broadway used his speed to get to the sideline, picking up that 1st down by a good margin.
We thought the kickers would be instrumental in the outcome of this ball game, and we never figured it would be them running with the football. Broadway right side, found the sideline and the 1st down marker. Huge play for the Hornets. 1st and 10. On the ground, Daniel spins near the 45, but a good play up front by the Lions.
We've already had 1 tie in the finals. Could there be a 2nd?
Hayward on the stop. We did have one of the earlier ball games end in a tie. We're under 3 minutes remaining here.
Cameron Hayward checking out his gloves.
Clario bringing in the play to Tolliver from the sideline.
2nd and long.
2 minutes, 40 seconds, clock running. Slot, bottom of your screen. Now Bidell in motion, pumps once. Tolliver going up top. He's got a man behind the coverage, but overthrown. Intended for McClario.
They had P.J. Bidell open in the flat. He went in motion from that slot position and stayed to the outside, something he hasn't done a lot this evening. Usually they've been bringing him back to the middle of the field, but Tolliver wanted to go for the big play.
3rd down and 9 it will be for the Hornets on this play. 2:27 remains. Dixon Pino with the white towel trying to keep the fans in it. Big 3rd down play here. Conversions from 3rd down. Peachtree Ridge 4 of 12. Roswell 4 of 14. Play fake. Here comes the pressure. They got the sack on Tolliver. Britt Kroll in for the sack on Dustin Tolliver. Tolliver looking upfield. He pumped once. Was looking for something further downfield, but not enough time. Kroll covers. There's the play fake, the short pump. And Kroll in on top of it. The surge at the corners has been tremendous all night long for that Lion defense. Now Broadway. Faking the run, now he will punt it. Line drive kick by Broadway. Lions backing away from it. And the Hornets cover it at the 24-yard line. Peachtree Ridge with the football. 1 minute, 41 seconds remaining. We are tied at 14, the 5A state championship.
The time of possession, Charles, has favored Peachtree Ridge in this second half. And as they've had the ball for longer periods of time, they've gotten more into a rhythm. And their quarterback, Zach Graham, has started to settle down. Let's watch the footwork in the pass formation out of the shotgun.
Graham. Shotgun. 4 receivers to his right. He'll roll that way. He's got some time. Still got time. Now flutters it out of bounds. Good defensive coverage by the Hornets. Everybody locked down on defense.
Malik Matthews, inserted into this ball game for Peachtree Ridge, was running a fly pattern. He was open at about the 40-yard line. That is the 40 of Roswell. But as the quarterback, Graham, was rolling, just didn't have himself set enough to make that long a throw.
Second down. Slots these aside. Now King in motion to the top of the screen. Graham, short roll that way. Now he'll tuck it away. Pressure and just unloads it. Found a receiver somehow near the 38-yard line. Catch by Brandon King. Graham just unloaded the football and right at Brandon King for the reception.
Graham threw that pass as close as you can throw a pass, sitting down. Got it away and got it away accurately for about a 7-yard pickup.
A minute 17 remains after the pass completion. The Lions take a timeout.
That's one of those passes the coaches on the sideline say, no, no, don't do it. Good pass.
At the end of it, they're going, yes, yes, yes.
Watch Graham feel the pressure, skip away. Now he's going down, looking up into the sky, and delivers a completion.
Brandon King found the spot, sat there for the reception.
Meanwhile, Dominic Wheeler is looking around for Roswell, saying, he caught that?
Third down. It'll be about 3 for the first down. A minute 17 left in this 5A championship ball game. It's been a good one. We're tied at 14.
Peachtree Ridge, Charles, is thinking Drew Butler field goal range.
They may be thinking Kevin. His distance as well.
Like father, like son.
Drew Butler. Son of Kevin Butler, the kicker for Peachtree Ridge. They can get it within his range. Third down and 5. Graham going to keep it himself at the line of scrimmage. Spins off one tackle, but knocked down on the second one. Justin Bird had the initial hit on him, and Zach Waddell finished it up. Was the keeper all the way.
We will be under a minute on the next snap. This will be another huge third down call for Peachtree Ridge in their own territory.
Timeout taken. Well, they're going to pull in for a measurement here. Graham was trying to keep it for the first down.
Looks like it's about 2 inches shy of the first down.
Boy, what do you do here? Fourth down coming.
Yeah, let's say 6 inches.
4th and 6. You make it, you keep the football. You miss it, you turn it over to Roswell.
And you turn it over to Roswell, very close to field goal range.
Jim Broadway has excellent range himself. Boy, you talk about decision time. Coach Armstrong will earn the check here.
Keep the 2-point conversion in mind.
4th down. Graham and the Lions appear to be going for it, but they'll probably come up there and try to drop them off sides if they can on a long count. Whistles before they get this play off.
Now Roswell calls timeout.
35.8 seconds remaining in regulation. We're tied at 14. My, oh my, Can't get much closer than this. Timeout remaining now. Peachtree Ridge with one more. Roswell's out.
You know it's getting serious when the referees pull out the rule book on the sideline.
They're thinking overtime now. Lions trying for their first state title. Roswell wants its third. Winners in 68 and 70. Lions in a 4-year program. They don't get the first down here. That football will belong to the Hornets.
Now they show
punt formation. We saw Broadway keep one. Butler back to punt. And Butler will kick it away. Takes a Peachtree Ridge bounce near the 11-yard line.
That ball hit as close as it could to the sideline, right about the 35, 25-yard line. Continued on the roll.
Mark with the new GHSA rules. At 14-14, when this ball game ends in regulation, that's it. They'll call it a tie if they're not able to settle it in regulation.
Terrible rule.
Coach McFarland with 22 seconds left. Have an opportunity to put it downfield a couple of times here. But the dangers of going up top. Philip Davis has already had 2 picks tonight. Tolliver coming to the line of scrimmage. Tolliver will take a knee at the 9. Running down to 7 seconds, down to 5, and looks like we're going to come away from this one just as you indicated, Mark. Co-champions in the 5A division. We had one earlier today, and that is the way this one will end. The Hornets of Roswell and the Lions of Peachtree Ridge battle it out at Cantrell Stadium, and at the end of the battle,
the fans
co-champions.
The fans not happy here because they have been accustomed to playing for overtime, and it caught the entire stadium by surprise.
The new GHSA rules leaving it at tie. Co-champions in 2006. Jim Ginocchio standing down at field level. Jim.
Charlie, Coach McFarland, what a tough ball game.
It was a tough, and I didn't anticipate it ending like this. To end in a tie, it's just kind of an empty feeling, you know. I mean, it really is. But, you know, I'm proud of us and our kids and what they've done and worked real hard. Peachtree Ridge played a great ball game. It was 2 good defenses on the field.
I tell you what, your defense was tough on the field all night long. I mean, they really played a great game against these guys.
They did. They did. They played well all year, and, you know, and Peachtree Ridge did too. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, we had 2 teams that played their hearts out, and, you know, the good news is both of them get a trophy, and the bad news is both of them get a trophy.
Yeah, but it feels good, though, to be a co-state champion. I mean,
it does. It does. I mean, that's, you know, I guess. I'll have to let you know tomorrow after I wake up. But I'm so proud of our kids and our fans and all the people that support us. It's been a good year, and good Lord's been really good to us. And we, you know, it's a great year. It's an odd way to end it, I'll tell you. I don't know how to quite how to feel right now, but I'm going to go congratulate their kids and tell ours they had a great season.
Congratulations, Coach. Let's go over to John Nelson. John?
Thank you. Thank you, Jim, here with the coach. Congratulations on becoming a co-champion 2nd year. You've always thought of yourself as a builder. You've built yourself a state title.
I'm just proud for our young men. They've worked so hard. My coaching staff has done such an outstanding job. You know, we'd have liked to got a couple of those field goals early on. Maybe it wouldn't have been a tie, but that's a good football team right there, and we are too.
Talk about that 4th quarter, especially the drive. You're down 14-6. You put a drive together, and then the 2-point call to get it tied at 14.
Well, our kids got a lot of heart, and Coach Winslow, our offensive coordinator, made that play. We had it in the back ready since the 2nd quarter in case we needed it, and they executed it perfectly.
In your wildest dreams, think of the beginning of this season and everything that this team has gone through. Could you have pictured yourself here at the end of 15 games as a state title?
You know, honestly, our goal was to get in the playoffs. We really didn't think about anything more than that because last year we barely missed it. And so, you know, honestly, we probably didn't think about a state championship game. But once we got to that first week, you know, we played number 1, Norcross, and number 2, North Gwinnett. We knew we could play with anybody.
Congratulations on your state title, Coach Armstrong. I know he wants to say hi to his mom who's watching in Tallahassee, Florida. Your son is a state title holder. Send it back upstairs.
Thank you, John. The duel at Cantrell Stadium ends in a draw. Co-champions at the 5A. 14-14 the score. The Lions and the Hornets co-champions, the 5A in the year 2006. We'll step aside for a timeout. We'll come back to Cantrell Stadium.
DVD or VHS tape copies of today's game can be ordered for $19.99 plus $5.50 for shipping and handling from GameTapes.com.
In 1856, 1,200 immigrants were stranded on the high plains of Wyoming. More than 100 wagon teams from Salt Lake City raced to save them in one of the greatest acts of heroism in 19th century America.
Monday at 9 on Georgia Public Broadcasting.
Broadcast of this program is made possible in part by the following.
The Georgia Student Finance Commission. Now students can plan, apply, and pay for colleges in Georgia on one website, gacollege411.org.
We didn't know how soon the Japanese would attack.
To protect the homeland, they moved mountains.
1,500 miles of road in 8 months.
They were saving North America, building the Alaska Highway on American Experience.
Monday at 10 on Georgia Public Broadcasting.
Support for programming is provided in part by the following.
10-yard line, 5.
Records are made to be broken, and it's time to set the record straight about unions. I'm Gino Kelly, newly elected business manager of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 613. IBEW 613 has not had a work stoppage in over 80 years serving Georgia business. Our bonded workers are well-trained and drug-free. We're committed to high-quality work done on time and on budget. IBEW 613 is a good investment for your job because we're putting families to work in Georgia.
This is Georgia Public Broadcasting, your PBS station.
Welcome back to Cantrell Stadium. Post-game activities. 5A state championship has been decided, and it goes to both teams. 14-14 the score at the end of regulation. Co-champs for the year 2006. The Lions of Peachtree Ridge in their first state championship, and Roswell, the Hornets, in their third. Co-champions. At the end of regulation, they tied at 14. Good second half of football for the Lions to get back in it to tie the football game up.
Well-played football game. Tremendous effort on both sides, and the coaches just not knowing how to feel at this point because no one loses.
Earlier today, other championship ball games in the single A. It's Lincoln County, the winner over Clinch County 21-14. They are your state champs. Double A, that's our second co-champion situation. Dublin and Charlton County at 13 apiece. They're co-champs at the double A level. In the 3A was Peach County 28-7 over Shaw. Congratulations to Peach County. They are the 3A champs of the state. Last night from Warner Robins North Side over Marist 30-6. They win the 4A state championship. And tonight from Cantrell Stadium, another co-champion situation where the Hornets of Roswell and the Lions of Peachtree Ridge play at the 14-14, and both teams share the championship in 2006. From Cantrell Stadium, Charles Water on behalf of Mark Lassiter, Jim Giannacchio, John Nelson, and the rest of the GPQ crew, thanking you for joining us last weekend and with us on Championship Weekend. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next year.
Funding for this broadcast of the 2006 Georgia High School Association's Class 5A State Championship has been provided in part by Georgia Electric Membership Corporation, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, IBEW Local 613, Atlanta. Wachovia, the Georgia Student Finance Commission. By viewers like you. And the Georgia High School Association, who wish to thank the Georgia Dodge dealers, State Farm, and Verizon Wireless for their support of high school sports programming on GPB.
Sunday night will be music to your ears with 3 music specials on GPB. First at 7, it's Celtic Woman, A New Journey. Then at 9, Chris Bodie Live. And finally at 10:30, He Touched Me, the gospel music of Elvis. It all begins Sunday night at 7 on GPB. For 45 years, GPB has been committed to serving you.
And we want to thank you for inviting us into your homes.
With award-winning GPB original productions.
Programs that reveal Georgia's fascinating wildlife.
And travel Georgia's backroads in search of interesting people and places.
Programs